Crypto Pirates, welcome to your Discourse Syndicate RD3. Your captain here with my number one Buccaneer, dollar cost DC Crypto. How you doing, bud?
Doing good, man. We finally got the first tiny little pullback, which is a little bit of a buying opportunity right now for HEX.
It's really not that big of a pullback right now, is it?
No, it's not that much, really. I mean, we're in the 70s right now. I think earlier I thought we were at 74.
Is that, are we down? Oh, I thought it was back up in the 8s.
Oh, we're 79. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
John earlier said today that he kind of called the bottom. Actually, he said we're only hitting 71, and that's it. That was a good call.
That was the bottom, huh?
Yeah, he fucking called it on the dot, man. That was a good call.
Right on. Well, I think there's much more to come. I think this is just the beginning of what we are about to witness. This might be some insane ensuing greatness here. Let me see if I could pull our Dlive up. I'm so I was almost late because I was dealing with lawyers and stuff today, right. And then the family, and then the dang my hotspot got throttled by my carrier. I have unlimited data usage, but not on my hotspot. My hotspot, they throttle it at a certain point, so I lose my freaking bandwidth on my hotspot. So I had to call them and freaking beg and plead for them to extend it and give me some more bandwidth. So
I tell you, these fucking centralized entities, man.
You know what?
Changes.
You know what? The U.S. is. I worked for a major, one of the major carriers. Let's just call them the Death Star because of their logo. It's insane in the U.S. how horrible internet service is. When you go anywhere in the rest of the world, I mean, you go to the middle of freaking Sudan and Africa, and those guys got 100 megs, blasted into their huts and shit, And for some reason in the U.S., we have been throttled back like nobody's business. I mean, everyone's getting free internet service all over the world, or real capable bandwidth all over the world, except for the U.S. They charge you premium and they give you shit for service. Right. But oh man. Anyway, let me see. I want to try and open.
It's almost like we're subsidizing the world, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me see here. Okay, be quiet there, buddy. I got this guy here. Hold on, let me pull up I want to pull up Dlive so that I can see the chat room and all of our wonderful, wonderful Hexicans here. There we go.
And please, don't forget to drink cola.
Here we go. Brian Magruder, as usual, thanks for the diamond, my boy, my man. All these people that just sit in the chat and donate to us and help the show. I mean, support it. Thanks, Brian. You're always there for us. Appreciate the diamond. Hex 101, also Lemon, Hector the Protector, always dropping in ice creams on us. Children of the Grave, you're good for memes and laughs and shit talk. Right on. Wallop Houses, thanks. Always donating too. Cookie Boys, donating ice creams, thanks. Anyway, sorry we're late today. DC and myself, I'm just handling family business still. Gosh, man, I wish I can quit having excuses for you guys. But you know what? We're gonna get on and we're gonna stream anyway. No matter what, we're gonna get it done. Whether I'm traveling around or at parents' house. And gosh, I didn't expect this year to be like this. What a stinking personal nightmare it's been. But anyway, back to Hex. Stylus 19, another diamond. Thanks, buddy. Thanks. Appreciate you guys. And I know it's kind of sucks that we don't have all the cool stuff like Hexo and everybody popping up the cool stuff. But hey, there are some good things coming. There's some good things coming, and we're gonna up our production value here soon. So thanks, Billy Boy Crypto. Always know who Billy Boy is now because I pulled an old salty old man on him. I think I've already said it on stream, but it was he was he was commenting on somebody's Twitter, and
Yeah.
and I thought he was commenting it to us. And he has different names on Twitter than he had it in the chat, and I put him on blast, and I felt really bad about it. But anyway, thanks, Billy Boy. All right, so let's. It looks like we got a new regular. I'm gonna have to stick him in the Cutthroats room. He's been hanging out with us, and I guess now he's tainted, right? I mean, now we've corrupted him. He's tainted. He's part of the cult. Didn't you guys kill a chicken and wash him in its blood earlier this afternoon?
I think so. But we made some sort of a pentagram in the middle of the courtyard and everything, and then we just lit a bunch of candles and stuff, and over all the mics and everything, and then we just got it popping, man. He's in, you know.
Well, I just want to say, I really like this guy. I want to say kid, but I shouldn't call you guys kids. Old men, that's kind of the word we use. But Wasabi is really a smart dude. I really like the way his intuitive view of Hex has been freaking astonishing, because all of the research and the whole year of a couple of years actually of learning and developing am I talking to you or the freaking wall? Where are you going? What are you on, meth or something, man? You can't stop moving around.
Sorry, I had to send someone off.
So, but anyway, all the time that we've all spent, talking about this, learning the project, and I mean, Wasabi came in and he understood Hex and started dropping numbers like he had been hanging with us from day one, doing all the research. So he's intuitive when it comes to Hex. He really knows how to look at a project and dissect it. And so I'm gonna bring him up, our new Cutthroat, Wasabi. What's up, dude?
Good. How you guys doing?
Doing good, man.
Phenomenal. Even with a dip, we're doing phenomenal.
Oh yeah, it doesn't look like it. It looked like it was just a little scratch.
A scratch.
Price. Yeah, not much at all.
I know it's a really big. It's a buying opportunity, you guys. It really is, man. I mean, I think me and Wasabi kind of privately have kind of run the numbers and stuff, but I think if you're buying under, and of course, no financial advice, obviously, but I think if you're buying under a penny, it's a pretty safe bet. I don't know, but that's what I think, at least.
I think everybody that's here that views the show or spends time in this chat room is pretty much already in Hex or is looking to, jump in with both feet, maybe. But I don't think anybody here needs any financial advice. I think they're just looking for some answers to what they got themselves into,
Yeah. I mean, but you get brainwashed out there in YouTube land. There's like these fucking zombies like, ooh, RG3 said jump off the cliff, so show us shall. Yeah.
What's cool about Hex is, you're not really talking about price go up. Usually these crypto projects and these influencers, they're always talking about, when's the price going to hit here? When's the price going to hit there? How do you game the dips and the highs and the lows? That's the problem with crypto, is that everything's speculation. And with Hex, it's not speculation. You can literally figure out the system as far as how much Hex you're going to have based on your staking strategies. And we've always said, and we'll always say, hey, look, first and foremost, every crypto has gone, even Bitcoin, 90%, 80% dips. Almost every crypto has had an 80 to 70% dip at one time or another. Hex has, and Hex will more than likely again. So that's just crypto's volatility. And if you can swallow that, if you can realize that, if you're okay with that, and you still want to, be involved in crypto in any way, shape, or form, then what you get here is advice on how to use Hex, staking advice, those kinds of things. That's because Hex is a contract. It has nothing to do with Richard Hart. It has nothing to do with the market. Hex is a contract that operates in a certain way that you can literally predict its outcome. You're going to know at least a baseline of where it's going to end, where your staking opportunity is going to end. And with the way things are going, we see a lot of upside to where it could go from here on. So, Hex is a completely different animal when it comes to dissecting it and talking about it and strategizing how to use it.
Yeah, and it's as simple as you want to make it, or it's as complex as you want to make it too. It's almost like pick your own adventure. Sort of, it's almost like a book. You pick the Hex book up and you make it as complex as you want. If you want to look at the charts all day, bro, I mean, that is your decision. But you want to look at shares, staking strategies. Do you just set it and forget it, or like, I'll just put my stake out for my birthday for the next 10 years and forget about it? I mean, you can play Hex in so many ways, and that's what makes it so cool. That you can literally choose your level of like competency, basically, like how much time do I want to put in this. But that's the beautiful thing, and then like that's what Hex has brought up, because I don't think there's ever been a crypto like Hex before where you can choose how you want to interact with crypto for the most part, right? It's usually there's some set rules, right? Like even Hex has set rules, but it's up to you. You're the one who chooses how long you stake out for, right? So you end up choosing how much time am I going to check up on my wallet or on my Hex and stuff, and that's freedom right there. It really is.
Hey, what's up, Gary? Did we lose you already?
What's up, man? Hang on a second.
Oh, he's got to change his pants.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. Is the mic volume on my end better now? So
yeah, you sound great.
Am I back on?
Cool.
Are you frozen? Am I double speaking?
No, you're fine.
Internet lurker still. See, internet lurker still hasn't jumped in on Hex yet. We've been talking to him for about 10, 11 months now, maybe 12 months. And still hasn't. No. It's been about 10 months, and he hasn't bought any Hex yet. We've almost got him jumping in though. Almost.
Hang on, I'm going to restart my video.
Yeah, it looks like he froze.
Yeah. We'll get him to buy at 55 cents, man. Don't you worry. We'll get him.
That's not charging.
Damn, Jim just teleported from his chair. That was crazy.
There he is.
Yeah.
New chair, new background, new chair.
Oh, it's a green screen. But, I'm going to start trying to be professional. Put a banker's tie on.
Not in here, buddy. Not in here.
Yeah.
So there we go.
So it's pretty exciting. This past week we've talked about that a little bit, but what do you anticipate for the next week? You think that there's going to be more influencers that come around, maybe because of some domino falling with Data Dash and other people that have influence?
Well,
what's your opinion?
I think that's getting. I mean, we got in a fight with one of Litecoin's water carriers today, John, whatever his name is. We got in a
Really?
Twitter battle. Yeah, we got in a Twitter battle with him today.
Really?
And, he started talking shit, and we started talking shit, and it turned into it turned into kind of a meme war. He was throwing memes at everybody, and it was like, hey, can't you answer? Richard said, hey, maybe I'm doing an apology after this post, because one of Charlie's posts was like, this is a scam, blah blah blah. And then Richard posted, hey, man, apologize to me maybe, or let's see what you're made of. And then Johnny jumped in his defense and just started, he don't need to apologize. Let me answer so you don't waste his time. It was like, oh, geez, the water boy's here.
Well, I did not know that happened today. Well,
yeah.
No.
It's interesting.
Isn't he your friend? Aren't you friends with him?
Well, I'm cool with John, but I don't talk to him every day. I don't know what's going on with her. I mostly hang out with Charlie.
Yeah, he tried. It was cool. He was just real smug about it, telling people they didn't have enough Twitter followers to talk shit to him, and that kind of crap, and just playing the big guy thing. Oh, if you're not on the front page of CMC and you don't have any liquidity in an exchange, go fuck yourself kind of attitude. It's like, whatever, dude, whatever, and that's not what Richard was asking for. And it just shows their character. It's like, okay, well, if we haven't showed you that we have integrity and that there is a project here and it's doing well, and we did tap into the top 10 already before our launch, then if that's not enough to garner your respect, then I guess you have no character then. Because if I was to see a crypto that was doing that and I was in the top and I was, hey, well, more power to you, good. And if I was in a crypto project that had integrity and had something to offer to the community and thought that, hey, we were going to continue to do well and build in the space, then I wouldn't talk to another crypto that was up and coming like that. That's ridiculous for him to have that attitude towards people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, because I saw that post as well, and I think it was just more of like a natural reaction, because John Kim's also like one of the he's like basically one of the biggest followers like in the Litecoin community. I think there's him and one other guy that's
this guy right here.
Yeah. Wait, hold up. Wait up. I completely got lost. I didn't know what John you're talking about. Hold up. Did you talk about John Kim from the Litecoin community?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the other John. I was like, because you were saying Charlie. There's two Johns and Charlies that I know.
Oh, no. John from Litecoin.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've met him before. I mean, he's cool. Yeah, I mean, he's a real diehard Litecoin guy and stuff. I don't really know him very well. I mean, I met him like once in 2019 at a conference.
Charge.
The dude just built. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just more of a kind of a natural reaction type thing, where because he's financially invested in Litecoin, so
of course.
I'm not surprised like he reacted that way. But I guess like his main arguments aren't you can't really use them against HEX, because I guess what John Kim doesn't realize is HEX is one of the most liquid coins on Uniswap, which from my perspective is that's really big. I think that's kind of the direction like a lot of this stuff is going anyway, is having basically a lot of volume and liquidity on decentralized exchanges is way bigger than having that on centralized exchanges, because when you look at centralized exchanges, it's really easy for them to operate a fractional reserve. So although I do think both like from a USD standpoint, I do think both like Bitcoin and Litecoin will probably do well like from a USD standpoint, but they also have a much they also have a much bigger battle to face in that the exchanges that they have liquidity on are all centralized. So there's going to be more supply dilution taking place. So in terms of if you just look at the potential of the assets, like whatever has more volume flowing through DEXs, I think is just going to perform better overall because of that, because it's harder to manipulate on centralized exchanges, because they need to buy a shit ton of supply to even have some kind of trading going on to begin with. So so I think basically his points aren't really applicable to like what HEX has built up. I just think his reaction was more defensive in nature because of his financial investment in Litecoin. But that also, sorry, go ahead.
He's all in, dude. I mean, literally all in. Yeah. That dude is all fucking in. Like, he sold everything to get into Litecoin. Like, for real. Like, he's a soldier, that's for sure.
Well, I think that's the difference also. Again, I'm not trying to knock other people. I didn't hear all of the conversation, but there's all this advocation about, the purpose and the difference about crypto versus other financial products or other kinds of things that you can put money toward. And I haven't seen the same principled endeavor as HEX in other crypto spaces. Whether it's the investor class, whether it's the founder class, whether it's, hey, we should wait until the security is proven, until audits are done. So it's really, I think it's disingenuous when people, on the outside say, you don't have a lot of liquidity on some centralized exchange that we can trade against, and we can basically take advantage of people that are buying this token because we're going to look at the chart and we're going to be able to basically influence the price point. So I really haven't paid attention, honestly, for about 2 years to any other crypto. I've only really kept tabs on HEX as it went through its, hey, what do you think about this icon? What do you think about this color? What do you think about tequila sunrise kind of gradient? You know, that kind of level as far as involvement with HEX brought me back to be curious about crypto versus just saying, fuck it, dude, I lost a lot of money in 2017. I just need to focus on assets that I can improve myself, which typically is real estate or something like that. So HEX is completely different because it seems to stick to the cypherpunk kind of principles, the liberal principles, and the long-term investor principles versus manipulation price point.
Yeah, right. And that and it's liquidity in my, it's fine. Like it from more as far as where it is now, it's one of the top traded coins. Just in terms of volume and liquidity on Uniswap, which is going to go a long way moving forward anyway. Because I you know, even though there is always going to be like centralized exchanges, they are going to continue to bleed out.
Yeah.
With all these DEX plays coming up, so it's just going to be better for just all around. Just in terms of like price potential and all that, it's going to be way better in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, in the future, like 80% of all trading or purchasing of crypto will be done over a DEX or more. You know, that's where we're trending towards right now. And then the exchanges are just scrambling right now to like discredit anything that's coming up in the DeFi space. Yeah.
So not to FUD at all, but do you think that central exchanges will simply be a dollar conversion or a fiat conversion into a crypto, and they'll serve that role? Like Richard had said that maybe that's where they're relegated to. Do you think that 3, 4, 5 years, that's where they'll be at?
Pretty much. I mean, yeah, there's always going to be every territory is going to have like their walled gate where it's like you can only use Cash App and Coinbase and Kraken in the United States to get crypto or PayPal, right? So there's just going to be a couple companies every country that have that ability, and that's it. After that, it's the worldwide of DEXs, I imagine.
Yeah. What's up, Briss?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Me and Briss just went out and had Thai food today. We just hung out.
Did you really?
Did a meetup, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Had some
Unwrecked.
I had no idea. If you coordinate something like that, let me know in the future. I would like to meet. I'm going back to California in about a week.
Story.
Cool.
Right on.
Yeah, definitely.
Unwrecked. Where you got your ayahuasca there, bud?
Yeah, we're bullish, mate. Hey, look, it's Native American.
He's got his wampum and his.
Made in Indonesia.
Made in Indonesia.
Made in Indonesia.
But Indian with a dot, not Indian with a feather.
I don't know. I think this is Apache.
Yeah.
I think that's actually China. I don't know where that came from. It doesn't look very original.
The Apache didn't do too much buffalo hunting, but yeah. Right on.
There you go. Shows how much history I know. What is the story of HEX so far? Where are we at with things?
We threw in the towel. All of us quit right before you arrived. We all
we
sold out.
We all had an EES party.
Oh wow!
You're late to it. I mean, we already dropped the price.
I'll take those emergency end stakes off you. That's fine. That's nice. Yes. Thanks for donating to the cause. Community service, HEX community service. Thanks you.
I don't know if you guys are watching. What was the biggest one today? The biggest one I saw today was 5 million for 7.5 years staked.
Wow.
That was a 3.5 year commitment of 40 grand.
Crazy.
That's what I saw.
That's a good one.
Been out on the job this morning, so I haven't caught up with what's been going on. I've been working, but I'm just trying to catch up with around the grounds now to see what's been happening. So what we had was there a few emergency end stakes. Gee, the price has been quite volatile. It's a lot more up and down at the moment. I think the speculators and the traders are starting to move in. It feels like there's a bit of a shift in gears, a bit of changing. Like where we at, like the volatility that's jumping up between the 7s and the 8s at the moment.
Well, what I don't know for sure, somebody else like Hexo or anybody that looks at actually the data can transparently see if it was actually unstaking. I don't think it was unstaking, in my opinion. You know, like 87% of the volume is liquid. And that liquidity, you know, when you see somebody like a Data Dash and you see the chart and you see, you know, the past 4 or 5 days of basically the price point doubling, you know, our habit of paying attention to crypto is to sell when it looks like it's a meteoric rise. And even on that sell, you don't see capitulation kinds of sells. You see, you know, 80 cents to or 0.8 and a half to like 0.77, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
So it looks organic, and it looks like, you know, even the ones that I did sell, at least on the Staker app, I saw that they were sharks. And so when they make a sale, it isn't really like capitulation on their bag or this emotional play. It's simply a cash movement and probably back in.
Yep. Yeah, it's very interesting. Very interesting.
Definitely. Sorry, your hat's amazing.
We were talking about the DEXs earlier, and yeah, I agree. I think those are going to be the way to go to transfer your funds in and out. I mean, with those, you now really don't even need a real bank, because I mean, if you want to get out of the market, you just use a DEX and go into a stable coin, and like you're out of the market, right? And just jump right back in whenever you want. And
once there's simpler on-road and off-road platforms, then it's going to make everything flow a lot better. DEXs are what crypto needed. You know, it needed that
Big
badly, and they're here. And I know that the exchanges were ready for it, and they've been afraid of it, and they're fighting tooth and nail to either catch up to it or fight it. You know. And I think that's what we're seeing, a lot of this weird rug pull shit that they are sponsoring. It's already proven that there are owners of exchanges that are involved in rug pulling. And that's, I mean, it's already been exampled out there. So it's obvious what they're doing.
Wow.
And if we can see that out in the open, then what's going on behind the scenes that we don't know about? You know what I'm saying?
They'll abandon that in droves. So what do you guys reckon about the, you mentioned it, Funding Jim, about the non-staked HEX, the liquid HEX? I mean, it's still a fairly high percentage. It's like there's only 12.74% of HEX that's staked. I mean, you know, that's a large amount of HEX that's sitting on the sidelines, that's just parked up there, that can, you know, basically could hurt the price if someone decides to make a big enough sell.
Yeah. And you know, the staking, I mean, I think I have to follow through with the whole intention of a blockchain CD. I'm staked. So my emotional state is different than other people's emotional state. I really wouldn't be able to access, you know, significant amount of HEX for a long time. So, you know, when Richard was making this proposal 2 years ago about coming up with a product that could surpass Ethereum, you know, you say, okay, Ethereum, as promoted as it is, as mainstream as you think it is now, it's a 2.5-year rise to go 10,000x. So, I mean, yeah, there's liquidity out there. It will move from place to place. Real estate moves, gold moves, stock moves, currency moves, everything moves. So there's fluidity, there's fluid movement inside of every asset class. And, you know, you can also put this out there that, you know, a lot of people that say, oh, wow, these people don't have very much and these other people have a lot. If you took from every person all of their assets and you put them in one big pot and then you evenly split it up, human psychology says that there would be accumulation again with an investor class, and there would be people that spent it that got it, you know, right away. So there's the 20-80 rule that happens across everything. So even in this movement of people selling liquid hex. It doesn't bother me. I'm an investor.
Yep.
And that's what you see if you for example went into a cryptocurrency boiler room where they're trading, they'll just be trying to flip coins. They don't differentiate between one or the other, but then at some point they'll take the good coins and move them over into an investment vehicle rather than a trading vehicle. And that's a decision that's made based on, the analysis or the fundamentals and the other things where, I think people inside of HEX, the guys that are already involved understand the computer science and the mathematics and the code better than, say, speculators over the past 5 years. Because, that's really been the only use case for cryptocurrency is trading. And now this is like, Richard Hart has carried I almost feel like Richard Hart has carried the burden of crypto through out of that phase and into a new era.
Absolutely. I feel like there's, we put it on Twitter out there. I try to put it out there pretty often. Mad respect for Richard Hart. Mad respect. If you think about someone that's going to be a CEO of a company, and I've been involved with other crypto projects, and, you say, okay, this person has technical ability and they have a history with a different company and they followed through on this other project as an employee. Now they're going to take under, their responsibility, the leadership of a crypto product or project. You have to have mettle, and the mettle, honestly, I don't think someone other than the character of Richard Hart could carry what crypto is becoming through, the cult of personality, the speaking truth to power, even the cursing and, politically incorrectness of him goes a long way to building a community that follows and goes through these kinds of hardships too. You got to look at that. Honestly, the founders of the top 20 companies in any sector, they're going to have that kind of mettle. The leader of Whole Foods, he gets all kinds of scandals and shit like that. He's always called out for sexism or some kind of whatever. But it's personality that gets things done.
Yeah, that'd be a rough company to run. Whole Foods. All those woke ass motherfuckers shopping there.
Those woke ass motherfuckers.
Or Oracle. Larry Ellison. Is it Ellison? I think it's Ellison.
Yeah.
He's a dick. Steve Jobs. He was a dick. I met him once, but he was reasonably nice at that occurrence. But he's always been famous as being an asshole. To go through the weather of people saying no or just trying to take you out at the knees.
Yeah.
Respect to Richard.
Gotta be Randy Savage out here in these streets.
Yeah. Another thing that's interesting is and again, I'm not trying to shit talk other mainstream top 10 coins, but out of the top 10 coins, if you just imagine them in your head, what is built into that product that tries to minimize volatility? Yeah, everybody wants price appreciation, but volatility is really what we count on when we look at a chart. Even when you look at Bitcoin, you say, oh, look, this happens, and then there's a happening, and then it's going to trough, and then it's going to spike, and then it's going to trough, and then it's going to spike. Is there anything that says, can we just go in a straight line? Can we just go like at a diagonal? Would that be nice?
Up and to the right?
Yeah, up and to the right. We have this psychological, you've got to get wrecked. And then the people that held on or took advantage of people getting wrecked emotionally and capitulating, fudding them out, taking their coin for cheaper, right? So there's not a lot of community inside crypto space, inside the asset class space of anything really, that says, let's just go in kind of a reasonable straight line. And when you look at the ROI on, I know this dot matrix thing, whenever you look at go.hex.win and you're looking at the top ROI or whatever, this dot pattern, looks pretty like a straight line to me.
It's a nice chart. I like it.
It's a real pretty chart. It looks like it's getting prettier.
It's been a great week. It's been a great week to enjoy the ride of HEX. Would you say, boys?
Oh, yeah.
I would definitely say so.
That price right now looks like it's like teasing us. It's like saying, You've seen where I've gone. You know where I can go. Here's your chance to get on, everyone. I'm like,
did it touch 98? For a
Yeah.
bit?
I
Yeah.
saw
no.
99.
You saw 99? Wow.
I saw it on HEX.live.
Like for a second, man. It
You
was
saw
like,
Hex.live say 0.099?
Yeah.
Holy
I
shit.
watched.
I didn't see
I
that.
watched Hex.live because it shows like the highest number.
Yeah.
So,
That's the best one to look at.
yeah.
So,
And it shows the number in the tab too, so I can always just keep a tab up in the background. I can see the price at all times.
Hex.live.
Live? Okay.
Yeah,
On
you
the
always
last,
mine's. I always
course.
got one open on.
Yeah.
Discourse, I said, I think Franklin, he's doing something. He can be here tonight, but I think he might be watching it somewhere. But we said something about I was going to do a $10,000 or 10,000 hex in a pot.
Oh yeah.
And then if you wanted to join into that, you can DM me. And I've got, again, there's not enough participants in Hex Tornado right now to make that truly anonymized. So if you want to be anonymous, then the best thing to do is centralize it to me. And I'm public enough that I'm responsible enough or whatever. So if you want to participate, then DM me. I'll give you the details. I'll tell you the pot address. But it's only for people that will be public on whatever they say their price call is. Their most recent price call for big payday at the rollover is what counts. So their most recent one. And they have to be on a live stream. So if they're going to be on the Hexo show for the 24-hour and they're live, fine. If they're on RG3 and they follow it and their most recent one that's public in their face, then fine, they can change their price point call. But just since 3 days ago, now that we've hit this price point, I'm like, fuck, I only had 2.5 cents or 2.4.
What is dollar cost crypto? Dollar cost crypto, and looking into crypto. What are you boys? You boys are into all these calls. I know you made an earlier call. Did you say 3 to 5 cents at one stage when you were Hex Jesus? And then
I'm always Hex Jesus in my heart.
Hex Jesus. where are you at on your crystal ball
for the big payday? Okay, for the big payday, I'm probably like 3.5 cents big payday, but I think we're gonna go a little bit higher, but we're probably not going to keep the price at that. But I like 3.5 cents is my fucking bare minimum.
Just so you remember, your last one was 0.033, so 3.3 cents.
3.3, yeah, 3.3 cents up, and then did I say up to 4?
What about Wasabi? You look like
you said it would touch it, but it might not hold it. I think
yeah, it might not hold it.
Yeah. Others say the same sort of thing.
Yeah.
Wasabi, you look like a bit of a smart character. What do you reckon, mate?
So I was thinking, I was basically predicting around 2 cents sometime before big payday. The thing, I guess, like once something goes into full on price discovery mode. So right now, when Hex is basically doing that because it's reaching new all time highs. The only thing that really tends to like matter after that is at a certain point, like the price is gonna hit. It's what chartists use called like Fibonacci levels, and it's gonna hit some higher level. But honestly, like it's a total guess. Like what sometimes the price goes much higher than you can expect. Like I'm just by looking at like comparing it to Ethereum's first cycle, 2 cents seemed to be a sweet spot as like just kind of a target before the big payday. If it goes higher than that, I'll definitely be really happy. But I'm just gonna kind of stick to that range, and then we'll just have to see how the price like responds after the big payday, because you do have traders jump in and out. But at the end of the day, if you have stakes that are farther out, it doesn't really matter. Like it's more of a psychological thing. So
when you take that into account, because you've looked at other charts and other liquidity pools on mainstream exchanges, and obviously you know trading a lot better. I have no idea about trading, but have you paid attention to the fact that with Uniswap it is quadratic? That 1/4 is what it takes to move the price, 4x. Have you looked at that as a number when you say, your calculation of what a chart should look like?
So I guess even to I guess even backtrack to the charts, like the charts are really more, it's more of a reference to give you some kind of idea what to expect. Like you can still be off by multiples when you're looking at a chart. So really like with a lot of assets, what tends to happen over and over again is you have what's called fractals, which are just it's basically similar chart patterns, meaning if you have a really big impulse, you can see a very similar candlestick pattern from like one asset to another. And this kind of stuff happens over and over again across all financial assets. But the thing is, like the size of like those fractals, like it's always going to change. There's just a lot. I think generally speaking, like markets are generally indeterministic in a sense where it's impossible to predict. Like you'll still be off by perhaps like even 2x. Like it's more for a general reference, like what you can expect for like a macro trend. And my idea is like I think Hex is going to have a very big expansion over the next couple of years. But in terms of like the price targets, I mean, I'm not trying to like, you know, I guess what some say like toot your own horn or something like that. It's more of a reference. Like, to be honest, I have no idea if the price is going to hit like 2 cents truly. I just think it's a reasonable target, just looking back at previous market cycles in crypto, because as of now, Hex is actually outpacing Ethereum's first cycle, which is extremely impressive. Like, so even dollar cost targets of like 3.5 cents are absolutely like in the realm of possibility, because again, 2 cents is looking back at Ethereum's first cycle, but if it continues outpacing it, then it can extend past those levels. So to me it's still mind-blowing just how fast like the price of Hex is increasing. But even to kind of rewind back to what you mentioned in terms of the liquidity, I did see Twitter post on that, and that just kind of reinforces like it doesn't take much. If there's a whale that basically steps in, they can basically push the price of Hex up pretty easily. And there's a lot of people, stepping into Hex. So, just expect the unexpected. The price is going to do some pretty massive things, I think, even just before the big payday, and we're just seeing the early stages of that now. All you can, the only sense you can get, like at least when it's cooling off, is like you can use the RSI on the charts, but again, that's more of like a reference, because if anybody was watching like Charlie's stream yesterday on Moon Gang, you can have the RSI overheat multiple times in bull market trends. So I'd say basically I'm just going to stick to that 2 cent target. And if it goes past that, that'll be great, because it'll just give me another data point to look at moving forward and comparing it to Ethereum's previous cycle. And you just get better resolution over time. It's just one of those things you have to improve with time, the more data that you have.
It's interesting that Ethereum on its launch as an ICO had a different narrative about its purpose, about what it was going to do. It was going to be a world computer. And it's very different that Hex has had one purpose. Go up.
Number go up.
I
don't think that narrative is going to change about the purpose of Hex.
No.
Yeah, these decentralized exchanges, these are a game changer. Before we only had the centralized exchanges, and they really basically allowed the price to go to wherever they wanted it to go to.
Allowed? You mean forced?
Yeah.
As long as you're in the front right, they'll let you go.
I mean, don't sugarcoat it. Don't sugarcoat it. They've manipulated, and they've been caught manipulating too. They've been caught turning the exchanges off when coins had just launched. They've been caught with their hand in the cookie jar multiple times. I mean, the biggest scandal in crypto in the beginning was the Mt. Gox bullshit. So, I mean, these exchanges are, they're just because they're the only thing, or used to be the only thing, doesn't mean that they deserved all of the
Accolades.
Not even accolades, just everybody turned a blind eye to all the shit that they pulled. You know what I mean? And they've been manipulating. And I don't know how come the whole crypto ecosphere has been able to just continue they're complicit in the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's like miners and exchanges are ruining crypto, so let's all go jump in bed with them and continue to move forward. And that's what they've all done. And so we have what we have today, which is a big fucking mess. And no projects out there have ever done anything. All of the promises have never been delivered on. And exchanges continue to make shit tons of money. And miners continue to make shit tons of money. And people that are out there working really hard, like Wasabi here, are out there getting wrecked half the time, even with good metrics. So, I mean, what is it, like 90-something% of traders end up losing, you know? I mean, those numbers aren't good, you know, and you're almost better going to Vegas. Your odds are better to go to Vegas and find a red or black and put all of your fucking money on it versus running in there and spending hours and hours and days and years of your life and girlfriend after girlfriend after wife or whatever of trying to become a trader, you know, because these things that he's talking about, these Fibonacci's and the golden ratio and all that stuff, it's all just cycles and patterns, and that's it. And you know, a bunch of times all of this stuff doesn't hit where you want it to do. So you can be predicting and watching, and you go, here's my moment, and you go in on that moment, and you still have a big chance of winning or losing. I mean, losing, you know, more times than not losing on that thing. Every trader I've ever talked to said, oh yeah, I did real good here, but I lost all of these other times. Or I was good for a month. I was a really great trader in crypto for 3 weeks. I did really good. And I got wrecked, you know, for a year and a half. So, I mean, all of this stuff has got to stop in order for crypto to get its face back. And the decentralized exchanges are going to allow for that to happen. It's going to allow for projects like HEX actually show people what crypto was made for, you know, and we're going to get we haven't seen the end of the fight yet. They're still going to come after us. I'm sorry. It's not over yet. It's not over yet.
And what do you think about though, how they list all these pop-up coins like Uniswap's gone, that Uni token's gone on all the centralized exchanges. They're listing, in Australia, we've got a number of exchanges and I got an email from them. They're listing like the likes of Filecoin and all these other garbage stuff. And like HEX is still off the radar. It's off the mainstream radar. Is that deliberate? Do you think that's deliberate manipulation, or what's going on?
Of course it is.
You're not
Discredit our
something on the CME unless you already have your inventory. You're not going to say, "Oh, wow, let's add this thing on the CME that we don't have, and let's just let you try and trade it." Who's going to?
What's a CME? What's CME?
The commodity, the mercantile exchange in Chicago. It's where, like, if you're going to bet on orange juice or whatever, options, margins. And so I'm just saying CME is a big example. Bitcoin is traded on the CMC as well. But what I was getting at is if you have that inventory given to you by the founder, by the collective, by somebody for free, then they will let it be traded. That's what Binance was doing in 2017. They had to give you a shitload of the token for free, and you usually pay them in something else that's already liquid, like if you afford Bitcoin, and then you would be permitted to trade, right?
That's terrible.
Yeah, so I mean, it was over $1 million to get listed on Binance in 2017. I don't know what it is now.
Yeah,
so basically they get all the coins for free and they sell them for whatever price they can.
Yeah, so they are guaranteed to have the spread and they're guaranteed to have the token. And again, it ends up being that they are a market maker. You know,
they're clipping the coupon on the way through. Bastards. That's disgusting.
But what I'm saying is now that HEX is like 10, 12, number 14, whatever reporting authority you're going to look at, think of the leverage point that's unusual and unique about HEX when exchanges might want that appetite. They have to buy it. I don't think that there's going to be a central shark, whale, OA. I don't think there's going to be someone that says and approaches one of these centralized exchanges and says, here, let me give you a lot of value for free so that you can basically take advantage of my community that I built. I don't see that happening.
Well,
I see there to be a market price spot buy if an exchange
ain't gonna happen.
As a sex.
Yeah, the reality is.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say the reality is that we don't actually need them. Hex doesn't require centralized exchanges.
Nope.
It's on Uniswap, and also when Hex busts into the top 10, it's going to get all the eyeballs, and people are going to be like, "What the fuck?" Like, you know.
Right. I mean, you think about it. If you're going to date a girl and you're very clingy and you're trying to make that hard approach, you're not very attracted to her. But when you walk into the room with a sexy girl beside you, you are suddenly very attractive because you're pre-qualified and you're vetted, right? So Hex is already vetted in this environment. This is already a proven, multi-billion-dollar coin market cap coin that comes out of nowhere 2 years after it's been talked about. So
Yo, Joe Biden just followed us, bro. We're bro.
I don't know. He wants that 33% tax on top of what you're already paying, so he probably wants to pay 50 next people.
Dude, oh my God, Biden's sniffing a girl right now in the chat. Oh, already? Juicy. Well, anyway, just to go back onto that whole exchange thing you were saying, Jim. All right, let's just extrapolate. Let's just say, right, after A's done, Hex is more proven or in everyone's eyes or whatever, right? How many billions do you think they have to buy off the market for them to actually open trading on a major exchange? I wonder. Like, let's just say, like Coinbase wanted to list Hex, right? How many billions of Hex would they have to buy?
They'd have to buy a lot, and they have to be competitive with the smart contract that's locked of Uniswap. They have to deliver better product or service to win that crowd that's already used to how Uniswap works. So what does Uniswap charge? 0.0003% of a trade or something?
Right.
So
I don't think it'll ever happen. They'd have to buy so much, it would drive the price up so high. I don't think it would be worth it for them to even try that. They would just say, hey, you want to trade Hex? Do it on the DEXs. Just swing trade it.
Well, on the central exchanges, again, on the launch of Facebook, they were a gnat compared to MySpace. There were not anything on the radar because there were just a college inventory of who went to school. That's all it was at Facebook. And over time, they ate everything else social media. So it's possible with Hex the same sort of way. You can ignore it for a long time and say, oh, it's Bitcoin. Look, the grandfather, it's been here for 11 years. And look at this chart. And it's supposed to go to $200,000 next year and blah, blah, blah. Maybe that narrative happens, but I think it steals market share because there's nothing in Bitcoin that specifically says price go up.
Yeah.
It's just popular opinion.
So Brasology, was that you on Twitter that put all the math on like how much it would take to boost the price up? Was that you?
No, that wasn't me.
I think Brennan's doing those maths.
Brennan does all the math.
Okay.
Brennan's like the ladder god. I mean, if you ever see his shit, if you ever go on the HEX Crypto Telegram, you see what he posts. He says he's going to start putting out like 50 videos a week or something like recently. I don't know.
Hey guys, sorry, let me interject that Matty Allen is in the chat. Dude, that guy makes great videos, dude.
Yeah, he got the president of Mexico or something.
Vicente Fox.
Yeah. It's like, is this for real? Is this really what's happening here?
Thank you for doing those videos, Matty. Those are awesome.
Matty, they're really professionally done.
Matty said they will buy it in bulk OTC from the strongest hands in history instead of open market buys.
They probably would OTC buy because let's just say they were to buy 1 billion Hex right now, that would cost them $7.8 million for 1 billion Hex right now.
So you got to think about the whale and the shark that might have enough inventory that they would do an OTC sale.
Right.
Why would they do an OTC sale? Why would they want their price to be less than what the open market might sell to them?
You mean,
unlike other coins.
Look on Uniswap.
There always is a reason to like sell OTC, whether like there could be an emergency where they need a large amount of cash, because if they were to try to sell that over time, they know they would get a less amount. So they would be like, it's sort of a deal with the devil, you know, like, all right, I'm going to give you this, but I know I'm going to get an exact set amount of money or whatever fiat or whatever ETH, whatever they're trading.
Yeah.
Maybe they overpay a little bit.
Yeah, probably. There probably is a little bit of a bonus, because that's a lot of hex. And that, especially in the future, especially as more and more gets locked up, there's less and less entities that have that kind of liquid scratch lying around, you know?
Even if there's an OTC sale, that just amplifies or increases the stability of the floor. But what that exchange paid in order to buy OTC from somebody else, now that's the floor.
Yeah.
In that exchange's eyes.
Yeah. And the cool thing is that, let's say the exchange runs out of hex.
They're not staking? You don't think they're going to stake?
Well, you know,
Bitcoin says, look, we've got billions of hex, but we can't sell it to you until our stake is done.
Right. More than likely, they're just probably...
Or they'd have to ladder.
They have to do staking ladders. They're like, hey, when this comes out, we'll sell you some more. Just the interest. We'll restake the principal.
There's a lot of different dynamics involved here that could, you know, I don't know. There's some things that can be changed.
Look on Uniswap. Look, liquidity on Uniswap's about 500 million hex, so it's like 1 day's worth of adoption amplifier. What's going to happen after the adoption amplifier finishes?
Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Yeah, I think that even as we've been trying to pay attention to it for close to 2 years now, there's so many patterns and pools and buttons and switches inside of Hex that are positive for the holder, positive for the buyer that says, I just want something truthful in crypto. Is there anything truthful? Is there anything that's locked in a smart contract that is truthful without admin keys?
Positive feedback
Nope,
loops.
there's nothing.
Fundamentals, positive feedback loops everywhere. It's
There's
man,
nothing.
they've really thought about it a lot. They've put a lot into that design. I tell you what, it's a brilliant design.
So when you look at
Richard likes to say that he wasted years by being a gamer after retiring. He's like, I wasted years by being in a hotels around the world, but basically just locking myself into playing game and understanding game theory. I'm like, kudos to you.
Yeah, man. It's a masterpiece. It is a masterpiece. Yeah.
Yeah.
The price. He was just saying in a recent video that we don't realize how high the price could go. I mean, you look at the scenario of liquidity drying up, AA stopping, and then hexagons that are staked, not giving up a single freaking. All of a sudden, if we start seeing price shots going up, like creeping up to $1 or something, every hexagon out there is going to be holding on to their shit like nobody's business here. And then could you imagine the FOMO? And I mean, gosh, man, the shit that could happen to this thing.
I bought ETH just yesterday so that I could do. I was like, everything I got is fucking staked. I can't put 10 grand into a pot for a bet. I was like, what the hell? I gotta buy again. So it's awesome, dude.
Poor Jim.
I know. I'm like, I got a little bit of dry powder on the side. I'm like, man, or just I have other cryptos. I'm like, I kind of want to liquidate them. Like, they're not going to do good.
We can talk after the stream. I'll help you out.
My Hybrid network, my Salt, all these things that were like shit coins that were just left over in a wallet. I was like, I don't want to look at it because it's like such horror to see the price of what they became. And then, like 6 or 7 months ago, they became Hex at, I don't know, 0.01 or something, whatever it was.
Hex mopped the floor with half of those. Like, well, you look at a lot of those other coins after looking at Hex and you just go obsolete, go down the list, obsolete, superseded. See you later. No.
Dude, I bought so much stupid stuff. 17, I bought so much dumb stuff. It's like,
oh my gosh. But see, at that time, they were innovative. I mean, the the narrative was this crypto is going to do this, and this crypto is going to do that, and this is going to fill this spot, and this is going to fill that spot, and this is going to replace this, financial product, and this one's going to replace this financial product, and
now we got
these
Filecoin.
platforms. And now we got Filecoin.
Just because of years have bags. That's why.
They all exit scammed and faded off into the sunset and walked off with everyone's money, and now here we are again. The cycle has returned, and now it's DeFi projects that are going to try and take your money. I mean, Hexicans are the only people speaking truth to power in the freaking crypto space right now. I feel like I don't see anybody else out there talking, and the ones that are capable of doing it, they're just clamming up right now. They're not saying anything. There's a few of them out. Like look at oh shoot, what was his name? Dude that's not even in crypto anymore. Real funny guy.
The poker, Doug Polk guy or something?
Yeah, Doug Polk. So Doug Polk is like, he was one of the good ones, man. And I think that he got so sick of it, he said, I'm walking, man. I'm getting out of this game. I ain't going to play this no more. And instead of, standing up to this crap and saying something about it. And I mean, I don't know how wise it is. I mean, I'm not afraid of these guys in the least bit because they're all fucking douchebags and they're all scamming and they're all just playing the game of the wrong side right now. And they know it. They know it. They know the game and what's up. They just got big old giant bags where they're getting fed by these exchanges and trading platforms and everything else. So I don't know why that there is only people like us speaking and everybody else is just being silent. The good ones are being silent about all this. They're not speaking to it.
Well, it's interesting.
Solid majority, RG.
Who saw Ian Bellina, the stream that he just did with Ian Bellina like yesterday or whatever? I think he was talking about there's only 2 products that don't have admin keys, and it's Uniswap, P2, and HEX, right? Yeah. So when you have that temptation to alter things in your favor, you're going to. If you can tilt the table in your favor, humans do.
But you know what? I mean, I guess maybe it's just because I've got integrity. I don't know what it is. But why couldn't you wait around for a project before you got behind it and said, you know what, this is really the one that I've been looking for? Because I would have never got behind any of those other projects and got on. I mean, I bought those coins hoping that they were going to deliver on their promises. But I would have never got behind one and started my own stream and changed my name to, be part of the community and actually help people get involved in this thing. I would have never done that for any of the others because I wasn't sure of their integrity. I wasn't sure of what they were doing. With Hex, from the beginning when it launched, I knew what Richard was doing. He had explained it. He had showed his character. He had spent hours and hours with us talking about what he was doing and what crypto was doing and explaining what everybody in crypto was doing to us, what the exchanges were doing to us, and what the miners were doing to us. Now, I happen to be privy to a lot of the back stories of what was going on there in the early days. So I knew what they were doing. I know what they were doing behind the scenes, and you could see it all right in front of your faces most of the time on the freaking news, on the headlines. This exchange was fucked up. This thing exit scammed. This guy did this. This guy's missing. This guy's not gone here. All that shit was happening, man. And I mean, and here we are today, and nobody's calling this shit out.
You are. Good job.
Well, I mean, yeah. I am, yeah. But all of us are. All the Hexicans really are just by their action, just by getting behind Hex. I mean, you don't have to get on stream and go on here like me and talk shit to Charlie Lee and talk shit to Antopoulos and Vase and all the rest of the dickwads out there. You don't have to do that direct in the Hex community. You are doing that. You're speaking truth to power because we're standing behind a crypto that's actually doing what they don't want done to their crypto space because it's their cash cow that we're fucking with.
Yeah, and Hex is a real 1-2 punch to them. It's they want people to go on there with a more or less a coin that will just you only have one of that coin, so they can trade it to try and get more of it. And so Hex, takes the trading power out of their hands and just makes people just want to stake their coins. And then the second punch is they do it on a decentralized exchange. It's like now you don't even get the buy fees or the sell fees. It's real. Uniswap and all these other exchanges are a real game changer. And I really think Hex is the potential to go high is just so much higher than I ever realized until recently.
Well, if you start a company and you're CEO, your responsibility as a CEO is to set the culture. That's your responsibility. That's the only thing you're supposed to do is set the culture. And if you hire well, the people that you're hiring should have that same mentality that they're wanting the company to do well, right? So you're cultivating employees and staff, and you're rewarding basically to bring people that have talent or initiative or drive into your ecosystem, right? As a CEO of a conventional company. Now, when you have a bad actor in that space, you call them out, you end up firing them, you let them go so that they don't become toxic inside your community. We're not all robots, but imagine that Hex is code. And all of these patterns that you just talked about, one of them you said was, crypto and other asset classes want you to trade. If someone is in real estate and they sell real estate, they want you to buy from them. And in a couple of years, they want you to sell that property again because they're going to make profit off of the buy and the sell. If you're in the stock market and you are a broker or you're part of a powerhouse that basically deals with launching IPOs, you want people to buy, but you don't want them to hold. You want them to sell again. And you want them to be a repeat customer over and over and over. And you want to take margin off of that volatility. Now, in Hex, because of what you just said, it takes away that trading power drive. If you're an investor in Hex, you stake that Hex and you have ROI in Hex. You don't have to necessarily trade to look at the dip and the positive, like the trading class, like the people that are liquid holders of Hex right now. They might be waiting for a 30% dip, or they can stake.
Hey, do you want to hear a good news story? Do you want to hear a good news story, boys? So I sent a text message to one of my friends. Basically, it was like February, March this year, and it was actually, I want to shout out to you, Captain RG3 and Moses and Jesus. And you guys for your show, because I used it for leverage. Like basically said, look, hey, I was like, because I was all just, like, oh, you gotta look at this thing. Made her go out. She went and bought her own, she went out and bought a $600 computer, and then I went through the process, got her loaded up, and put the Hex in, staked it all for a couple of years, whatever. Wasn't sheep stations or anything like that. And then I just sent her a message this morning, like, how you going? La, 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 la. Hey, have you seen Hex? He's like, oh, no, I haven't looked at that. What's going on? And it's like, just no idea. But, that's how good Hex is. You just basically, you stake your coins. And I just said, well, don't forget when your stake ends, that's the main thing. And doesn't even care, just off living her life or whatever. But she's got that Hex stake on a computer that just sits there. I don't know. Or maybe she uses it. I don't know. But she hasn't even looked at Hex since February. But I got her in before the first pump. And so she's probably sitting on a pretty good bag. I think it was in the millions anyway. So that's pretty good from a fairly small seed. So that's a good story. That's a good news story.
It's going to be a good Christmas there.
Yeah.
Mate,
I was around your house. I was around her house watching you guys on the TV. I was like, look at these guys. Look at these guys. I want to go with these guys.
Right on. Hey, I want to read something out of the chat real quick in Dlive. Cookie Boys said, now look at this, guys. So now Ivan on Tech and blocked me today. And I was congratulating.
Long time.
Well, he's been pretty good about letting people from Hex talk. Hexicans actually get in there and say some things or whatever. And he would give some little snide comment or something every now and then just to kind of push him off or brush it to the side. He was trying to play Switzerland on the whole thing, I think. But they were congratulating for calling out CoinGecko. Now I saw that post at Cookie Boys, but I think I liked it too. But he called Ivan out thank you for calling out CoinGecko for gatekeeping. And I don't think he really called out CoinGecko. I think he was like, he kind of questioned something. He didn't really call him out. And they got blocked for that. So it's like, is that fear? I mean, somebody like Ivan blocking somebody for saying something like that, is that fear? Is that like buying into fear and not, oh shit, I don't want CoinGecko to know that I talk shit, or that anybody in that Hex community is like happy with what I just did or whatever. That's the kind of complicity that I'm talking about. That it's almost like a very passive, buying into the narrative out there that, we want crypto to stay the way it is. But these guys got to grow some balls and start calling this shit out.
I remember when there was a broadcast, I never would be able to find it. I'm sure I wouldn't be able to find it, but there was a broadcast where Ivan on Tech was doing one of his evening shows, and I used to spam up his chat and stuff like that. And I remember when he said, "We're not going to look at coin market cap today. We're going to look at CoinGecko," and he switched over, and he did it for months. He may still do it whenever he does like chart reviews and stuff like that. And you got to know that that's a sponsored switch. That's not because this is more valid and this is more accurate and these metrics are more proper for my audience. It's a bot situation. It's bot advocacy.
Yeah, and that's where Hex is so good and honest, because it's actually an even playing field. It's not the deck's not stacked in favor of, like it's an equal opportunity. And it's an equal opportunity for Hex compared to some of these other cryptos where they get they're getting the under the table deals, or they're getting the sponsorships, and they're getting the, those paid agreements. And that's, that happens in business, and that's probably been going on for centuries. But this is the first crypto that actually I feel is, and I've only been here 5 minutes, but it seems like an equal opportunity. Doesn't matter what your color, doesn't matter where you're from, doesn't matter anything. You've got equal opportunity to go and get into crypto, and if you are, buy some Hex and stake it. That's it.
Well, it's auto balancing. It's code that is auto balancing. If you want to be a staker, you can participate in staking, and you see that your percentage of your APY will change, because if the smaller percentage of the pool that is staked, they're getting that inflation. And you have that choice, you have that control. And if you say, hey, I can't compete with these people that have $10,000 to throw around on a crypto. I've only got 500, I've only got 300 or whatever. You can compete with that person. You can compete because you can stake for a longer period of time than they do. So you actually have a better shot in Hex than you do in any other coin from what I've seen, in my opinion.
It's better money, really, isn't it? And I think that's a phrase that I heard young Patrick, our Austrian friend, he called it. It's better money. It's like the good old days when money meant something. That's how, and it's that, all of that technology and that the public, or the public digital ledger technology, the blockchain, is really where it's at. And Hex is actually the first, to me. I don't know, I've looked at a few of the other ones, but to me, Hex seems like a better money. Does that ring true with you guys?
Yeah, that's the principle of sound money and Gresham's law. I don't know if you've ever looked up what Gresham's law means, but in Roman times, they used to mint a coin, silver coin, and 1/10 of an ounce of a coin, I forget what it's called, but the coin could buy a hard day's labor. It could buy a guy who made pottery all day, a 1/10 of an ounce. A person that was a soldier, what was it called?
I think it's like,
I forgot the name of the coin, but it was a coin. They went for 1,000 years. And one of the reasons that the Roman Empire failed is because they started to debase their currency. And what that means is they used to clip, they would say, okay, we're going to take this coin and we're going to clip the edges of it. And if we clip the edges of it and we still trade it, then when you're in the marketplace, if you accept it for your barley or for your goat or for whatever your trade is, you look at that coin, you're like, that's the shitty coin. I want to keep this coin. Like you start to make a decision about the soundness. And then you say, okay, well, then the emperor would collect in taxes that silver coin and melt it and then put base metals in with it. That's what debasing means. And so your percentage of silver went down. The dinar, it wasn't the dinar, was it? Maybe it was a dinar.
Yeah.
But basically you were debasing the coin's value. And then in the marketplace, when you're going to buy your goat or whatever you want to buy, they would look at it and they say, oh, this one is shiny and this one's dull. I'm going to sell this one, the dull shit. I'm going to keep the strong one. That's what sound money means. So in the same vein, when you look at all these other crypto products and projects, sooner or later, people have to say, is price performance matching my expectation? Is trading wrecking me? Maybe I should just stake, right? Yeah, I've got silver everywhere, dude. Yeah. I was a gold bug long before any of this, gold and silver. But yeah, so that's called Gresham's Law. If anybody in the audience listens and they look up Gresham's Law, they'll understand that principle. And that's what I think is going to happen in crypto the same way. Right now, everyone likes to default to saying Bitcoin and maybe preferring Ethereum because there's more things as the silver and gold of crypto. But I think that could flip. I think that could become HEX.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of Roman coins, man. God damn.
Yep.
I know
got a
that.
bunch of them.
I know way back in the day, in like the days of like Jesus, that they were
I'm right here.
letting people come into the temple.
Right there above
It
you.
cost like 1 silver coin, right?
Yeah.
But they had such the people that would come had such crappy silver coins that the people that were accepting the coins were like, no, if you want to come in, you give us 2 of yours and we'll give you 1 good one of ours.
Yep.
And then I think that was the one time Jesus went violence and he like flipped the tables on the money changers. And
Yep. That's exactly what it was. I mean, again, it's biblical as far as that particular narrative, but that's exactly what often causes governments to fail, is because they make promises that they can't keep. And they promise, now it's in fiat, so it's digital ledgers and entries in your bank account, and we will just, we'll send you a Fed coin and it'll have inflation built into it. Don't worry about that part. So there'll be stuff like that.
And that's what we're doing. We're flipping the tables here on crypto. HEX is doing that. We're Jesus. We're the crypto Jesus is what we are.
And you know what a property I thought about earlier today about HEX is that when we mint our own coins, these are like virgin coins. These have not been anywhere. So they're not tainted in any way. It's actually pretty cool, because the only other way you can get coins from other cryptos is you have to get them from a miner. And so you don't know what they've done with that, You
should if you remember in 2017, and actually since the origin of Bitcoin, these big cloud mining kind of farms and stuff like that, they actually used to get a 10 to 20% premium because it was a virgin coin, because they were the ones that mined it. And when your stake comes out, realize you have a virgin coin. So when you are unstaking, or even if you mint and you bought and you don't trade it into an exchange and flip it around and stuff like that, and now it has a history and it's got some dinge or dirt to it, virgin coin usually commands a premium.
Right.
Virginonly.com, man. If you want
All right.
Virgin HEX.
I knew it. You can't say that around here, and I knew it was. It's already starting in the chat rooms. I was like, all he had to do is, here we go. And here we go.
But here's one interesting thing. If we just go back to the whole Roman thing, eventually they came up with like ridged lines on the edge of the coins.
He says ridged.
Ridged for your pleasure? Is that what it was? It was ridged for your pleasure?
It was ridged for your pleasure, yes. But eventually what ended up happening is that then the people who actually made the coins started putting less silver in them and junk metal into them.
Yep.
And basically, basically everyone else. I mean, it went through, like Rome went through hyperinflation, but the rich kept transacting in gold coins, which they never did any of that. Mm-hmm. So the rich were able to transact in gold, while the poor and the soldiers and stuff basically were like fucking losing value over time in silver. Yeah, interesting, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And like you said, you try to have these countermeasures that were built into the coin, like you said, the ridges. And that was so if you clipped off an edge, you clipped off some corner of it, and then you melted it down to be another coin, you would be caught, right? But then they decided, let's just mix in base metals and make it a dollar coin.
Right. And one of the reasons why they actually, I think one of the reasons why they started putting less and less silver in there is because I think one of the Roman emperors decided to double the pay of the Roman army in one fucking swoop and shit. So by the loyalty of the soldiers and stuff, and then they started running out of silver real quickly, so they started doing all that shit.
Well, if you're gonna stop making payments on some part of your citizenry,
mm-hmm.
The army is the last people you want to jilt.
They always pick the soldiers. They never, through history, you don't jip your soldiers. You're going to get killed.
They've got the spears, they've got the machine guns, they've got whatever they've got. Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. I got to get going. I got an early day tomorrow. So it was fun hanging out.
Right,
good talks.
Rizzo.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
Thanks for lunch today, man. It was good meeting you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, bro. So it was a funny coincidence. Versology actually works at one of the companies I've been working for the last 30 years, moving equipment in there. He actually works on the equipment that I put in.
So how did you guys dox each other to find each other?
Oh, I just sent him my phone number, told him to call me. We've been talking about meeting up here for the last couple months, and we just haven't had the time yet. So I was out here in Orange County hanging out, taking care of business with my family, and so had some time this afternoon. So
is the fire okay? I know there was a lot of chatter
horrible.
About
no, it was horrible. I couldn't even breathe today. It was that bad.
Really?
The fire was right where we were. It was in Tustin, and we were right in Orange, the city of Orange. And it was, literally the ashes. We were standing there talking outside the restaurant, and the ashes were coming down on us. It was so bad. Chunks, big chunks. And all those houses up there, that's Orange County's richest hills. Those are like multi-million dollar homes up there. Like $5-10 million homes are up there. And
the guy that bought my Corvette is right there.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I tried to convince him to buy Hex. He's like, I'm too old for that. I was like, okay, just give me cash. Yeah. He's right there, and I haven't heard from him. I texted him to see if he's okay, but he hadn't replied.
Yeah,
my car.
Those motorbike dudes from the Discovery Channel, the guy with the big motorcycle handlebars and his son. Remember that show?
That's in New York. That's Orange County, New York.
There's another Orange County on the East Coast. Yeah.
Yeah, they're New Yorkers.
This one out here, my buddy Jesse, he had a show on for a little while. I don't remember a guy named Jesse James. He had a motorcycle show. He's from
James. I've seen him. Yeah, he was married to Sandra Bullock.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a little bit. He and I used to be friends. Yeah. He went to school out here in Riverside, and I moved all of his machines in his first shop, and we became friends. And he built my fenders for my Harley, and did all my work for me. Yeah, he was really cool until the show started. Then after the show started, he started getting kind of funky, man. And then he left his wife. His wife was a really nice lady, and then he left her for the first porn star he started dating. Then he met Sandra Bullock, and then he screwed up on her, and then he was with Kat Von D for a little while, and then but he just turned into a real that whole Hollywood thing got to his head. But it's too bad. He was a good guy.
Yeah. Did he have Monster Garage as well? Was that him or no?
Yeah. They gave away the prize. I don't know if it was called Monster Garage or not. They'd build something, and then like the team would build something, then they'd give away a prize for it. They'd do some kind of crazy build or whatever. I think that was called Monster Garage.
I remember because I have tons of those things taped. Like me and my cousin would always watch it all the time and stuff. And then my cousin was way younger than me, so he literally has mountains of like VCR tapes of Monster Garage in his house still.
Yeah, that was
I love all the shows that were like all the motorcycle builds, you know, the people from
Yeah.
different areas or whatever, like Indian Joe or whatever his name was, Indian somebody.
His ego went to his head.
Yeah, it was whatever, but you know,
Yeah.
but that's Hollywood, man. That's Hollywood.
Hey, do you guys go through that daily data on the gohex.com website and then work out your T-shares and do math? You calculate your daily payout by your stakes.
I get pretty sad actually when I go through my shit. I'm like, I should have staked for longer. Like I know all the laddering stuff about, oh, I hope I need money in 6 months or something, but every time I look at like a 6 month or 8 month or 2 year stake, I'm like, I should have put that out there further.
Yeah.
I just look at how much my stakes are going up every day. Like the interest that you're earning every day in Hex. You know, like you can calculate it using the mathematics. It's unreal.
Yeah.
And you look at that and you go, wow, my stakes are going up by X amount every day. That's speculative stickiness.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about this staker app? Have you had a bit of a play with that? You seen the staker?
Yeah. I've been trying to reload the new. I guess the new app came out, but I haven't.
It's like a dark mode or something now.
Yeah, I love that dark mode. I hate the bright shit, man. It drives me crazy. But I can't see how to. I'm on iOS, stupid ass.
I'm the
iOS.
same as you, mate. I don't know how to do it. I've got an Android with it, but I can't work out. I actually was going to delete it and re-download it to see if, but then I have to go and put all my addresses.
Yeah, I think it's working for iOS. You can download it and see all your info and plug in your wallets, but staking on it, I don't think you can yet on iOS.
Hey,
I better not do anything right now.
So Hexologist, he made my background a long time ago. Like,
Oh, he made that for you?
Yeah. It says doing good by doing well.
Hey, there's Brennan. Brennan's in the chat now. I see him.
Hey.
Freaking Brennan. Freaking Brennan is freaking Godhead with his damn numbers, man. That man has got his shit together when it comes to charting the numbers and stuff. Him and Wasabi should get together and freaking put their heads together, get the numbers out there.
Brennan, like I said, if he's in the chat, I haven't seen, but if he's in the chat, I know he's going to be kicking out a lot of videos soon. He's committing himself to his work ethic. Good. I was like, okay, he said, at first he said, I could do like 50 videos a week. I was like,
50?
That's commitment.
Fucking
He says,
do it.
okay, maybe 20.
Because there is no community out there like Hexicans that will consume. They will consume all that shit, dude. I mean, we need it. You should be out there doing it. I've been trying to encourage him to do more, put as much as you can out there because, and all of you, everybody out there, you can all freaking fire up a YouTube channel. It's not hard and start.
A lot of people don't know. So I had a couple of returns. I bought some computer equipment on Amazon, and it didn't work out or something was bad about it. So I sent it back. When you send it back into Amazon, it gives you a gift card balance so you can apply to other things, right? I think I've talked about this maybe in the past. People might not know that you can take that balance and, what was it? So with your gift card balance on purse.io, you can buy things for other people and they pay you in Bitcoin. So you can convert a credit in Amazon gift card into a Bitcoin balance, and they pay between 15 to 20% above the market price of Bitcoin. So they pay you in Bitcoin, and you have bought, like for me, I buy Lego sets. Like there's somebody that does a lot of arbitrage in Lego sets, especially as the holidays come around. So if somebody buys hundreds of thousands of dollars of Lego sets over the course of a year, and they do it on purse.io. So they pay with Bitcoin. I buy the product and it ships to their property. They have a warehouse, and then they retail arbitrage it on Amazon FBA or wherever they're selling it. So you can convert a positive balance into Bitcoin, and then from Bitcoin, you can convert it Bitcoin into 30% more than the market value of Bitcoin by taking your Bitcoin balance from your purse sale. So now you have a Bitcoin balance, and you go to Paxful.io or .com, Paxful, Crypto Lifestyle. He's going to do an interview soon, probably with Richard. But he has a lot of content on YouTube about it. But basically, you take your Bitcoin balance, you can sell it on Paxful for 30% more, and just roll that money over and over and over. So you basically get 30% more than the dollar value in Amazon gift balances. So I did that in about like 7 or 8 months ago, and I made like maybe 7 or 8 grand.
Wow.
And so I've been started. I was like, I left it alone for a long time. But then I said, oh, I need to get more HEX. How can I get more HEX? Oh, I've got this balance. So yesterday I sold like $1,000 worth of Bitcoin because I got it from balances and sold it through those systems I told you. First you sell on purse, then you get Bitcoin, and then from Bitcoin you go to Paxful and you get 30% more, and you can cycle that as many times as you want to until you want to exit into HEX. So when I exit into HEX, it'll be a staking period right before the staking time.
Would it even work for larger balances?
Yeah, I mean, again, the challenge is if you buy gift cards with your Amazon gift card balance, like you say, I'm going to buy a Best Buy card, I'm going to buy Home Depot card, they can hold your money. They can freeze your money. So you want to stay away from buying gift cards. But if you're buying things like Legos and electric bicycles and things that are kind of high ticket dollar items, you can make 30% on each circle, on each cycle.
Sounds like a plan, man.
If you have questions and they really want to do it, then just DM me. I'll try and help them through it.
Don't underestimate the value of the knowledge base or the intellectual property that you guys are creating just through the learning, the ongoing process of learning in HEX. Because I mean, like the likes of Brennan with his mathematics and his spreadsheets and things like that. That stuff's really valuable, because that's I think that's just an important point to note, that like what you're just saying, Gary, those opportunities exist. If you follow the process and you go through it properly and you do everything right and you play by the rules, there's a value in doing that. And that's what I like about the HEX code, like it's a smart contract.
Yeah, and it's interesting because in other systems, you wouldn't necessarily share your advantage with other people. You would say, oh, this is how this works. Right. You would say, I'm going to take advantage because it's my opportunity. But in HEX, actually, it benefits you to help other people participate. It's really cool.
Yeah, Amazon arbitrage, right?
Yeah, basically it's Amazon arbitrage. I bought a camera to upgrade this because right now I'm just using an iPhone and I'm going to have a better camera. I didn't like it, and then I sent it back, and then I got a credit, and then I converted it into Bitcoin, and then from Bitcoin I converted it into more Amazon. And then I'm at like 4 days before the big payday, I'll convert it all into HEX.
Got it. Shit, that's smart. I mean, yeah, man, if you can do it, man. There's all kinds of opportunities out here in the internet, man, to make more money. Flipping stuff and everything. Sometimes it does take a bit of a balance first. You got a couple grand to play around with to buy stuff, but if you're patient and you do it and you can figure it out, there's money out here. I mean,
I help people get cash. I think I've gotten over this past 10 days or 12 days, I've gotten about 150,000 people for clients, $150,000 in business credit for clients. And then they're either using it for real estate as they're preparing for maybe the economic change in like March or April, like they're getting ready. They're trying to have dry powder for real estate collapse in like April, May. And so they're getting prepped for all that and they're trying to position, or they're using it for crypto. There's people using it for crypto too.
Yeah, if I could just pick on a point that came on one of the it was one of the wasn't the live stream that Richard Hart did with Data Dash, the one before that, where he was talking about and all of the people that are involved in staking HEX, the fact that you've got this asset that pays a perpetual passive income, but it also appreciates in value. basically it creates it's almost like a perfect storm where, you know, you actually never really need to, in the future, and I don't know, I don't have a crystal ball or anything like that, but in the future, hexagons won't actually necessarily, staking hexagons won't necessarily need to sell hex to sort of cash out or to use, because the value of their asset has appreciated so greatly that they're incentivized to hold the price up. Isn't that awesome? That is just so awesome. That is just almost like the perfect storm, or the best case scenario. It's like a win-win. Everyone wins. Like how do you do, like in business, when you do that, I don't know, cost benefit analysis or the SWOT, you know, and in a business transaction or in the business world, you're trying to create a win-win situation, you know, between the client and the customer, or the customer and the client, or the contractor, or whatever you mean. But those win-win business deals are the best ones, aren't they? And that's what HEX does.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, and then after the big payday, when monetary policy shifts over to the staking class, the staking class are going to have the hand on the monetary policy in HEX. Like we're gonna actually own. We're going to be like the Bitcoin miners. We're going to be the guys that just actually, and we're incentivized actually incentivized to keep the price up by not selling. How good's that?
Yeah, I mean, also keep in mind, we talked about it a little bit earlier, but if you stake for 15 years and then you finally have a stake that's realized and those coins are minted, those are virgin coins. It's hard to find those virgin coins in the future. You know, this if it's used as currency, if it's used as transfer or exit into an exchange into a dollar, it's gonna, there's a lot of value inside this. There's patterns inside of patterns that people don't see until it happens.
Yeah, the numbers are beautiful. The numbers are like incredible. Like you can see the level of the granular level, the detail that they've gone to with the mathematics and how the numbers look on the screen. Because, you know, and I've talked about this in one of our streams about it isn't a coincidence that 10,000, when you Bitcoin claim, you get 10,000 hex per Bitcoin. That's not a coincidence. I think in the future, and Brennan actually run the maths on this, that basically the price of hex, if it goes to $1.30, will equal whatever the market value of Bitcoin is. So 10,000 hex will equal 1 Bitcoin. Isn't that great? Isn't that an interesting scenario to think about? Because
if at the
Very,
big
very
payday, when that rolls over, is that going to be like 600 billion total hex? What's the estimate now?
700.
700.
700.
Oh, yeah.
So what's 700 billion times 3.69? How many hex coins are actually the inflation?
Here.
That's where the hyperinflation ends, and it just goes to straight inflation of 3.69.
Yeah, and it's going to have way more of an impact on the market value of the token compared to the last 2 Bitcoin halvenings. Yeah. So, and obviously those first 2 Bitcoin halvenings, like, you know, that's what put Bitcoin on the map. That was what made it famous. That parabolic rise in 2017. That's what brought all the attention to the space. Did this? I mean, you just look at the chart. I mean, that hex chart is, it's a pretty impressive. It's a very, very impressive looking beast. You know, it's something else. It's
2.5 trillion. No, it's 2.5 trillion, not 250. It's 2.5 trillion.
Wait.
No.
Yeah.
They were off here.
It's going to be 700 billion. 10% would be 70 billion, and 1/3 of that would be like 25 billion.
Yep.
So 25 billion or something like that.
Yeah. So at the moment, the daily payouts are around about 47 million. So maybe double that. You might double that. Close. Maybe put an extra whatever the next 20 days brings, or the next 21 days brings on top of that. So the daily payout on average is going to probably, let's just say it doubled to 90 million hex a day, and then just times that by 365. Yeah. That'll give you the annual 3.69.
And even when you say it's paying out to the staker class, that doesn't mean that all that becomes liquid. I mean, even when you say 3.69 inflation in other coins, that's liquid coins. 3.69 being paid to a staker class isn't necessarily liquid.
Yeah, it's 25. It's 25 billion in the first year, and then from there it grows. It's a little bit more. It's probably like 26, 27 billion for the second year.
Right, and that's paid to staker class. That's why they're staked.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's only when you come out of stake. So your actual true inflation is less.
But what's interesting, I really like the mining analogy, because, you know, if you're staked, imagine, you know, that you invested, basically what you did is you invested in miners for the next, you know, 3, 5, 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
And they're bought and paid for, and they're already turned on, and they're already
and there's no electric overhead.
There's no electric overhead. There's no updating the cards or fixing miners or any of that stuff. And you're part of the ecosystem, and you're mining, basically producing the hex that everybody's going to be trying to get.
That's true.
You know?
It's a great analogy. It's a great comparison. With less pollution and less responsibility, less if the air conditioning goes out in your mining warehouse facility, you're fucked.
Yeah, none of that stuff can happen to you. You know, it's like you have none of the headaches of being a miner, zero. I guess it's all about. The other thing that I'm noticing is that the community is starting to have a sense of responsibility for helping to control price volatility. I made mention of dumping, and I kid with people when I say that. You know, I'm going to take my hex and dump it on your damn heads. I kid. I do. I really do kid, because when you do get your gains, and you do have to realize them, and you do have to turn them into cash and spend them and pay the electric bills and the gas bills and put the pool in the backyard and do all that kind of stuff, make mama happy and all that, or go out and live your life if you're single or whatever. You still have to realize those gains. But I think that this community, because when I do say things like that, I get a lot of people coming at me and saying, "Oh man, you know, we really gotta, be responsible for how we return our gains and how we get back into fiat." And a lot of Hexicans are saying that. Like even Abit, was kind of pushing back on me about that the other day on the stream. So right. I'm really impressed with the community, and it looks like that we are creating whales, but we're creating accountable, responsible whales. And that is cool to see. I've never seen that in any other crypto community, because you always heard in the chat rooms, like in those back days ICO chat rooms where they were pump and dump rooms and all that stuff. I mean, that's what they were like. They couldn't wait to say that they dumped on those guys' heads, or they dumped on this guy's head, or they dumped on that community's head, or they did all this stuff. And any talk like that in this community gets ridiculed, gets pushback. And that is what is interesting about Hex, is that people don't like that talk. And I think that we are creating a more responsible type of investor here with this coin, and it's really, really cool to see. And we got to talk more about that, like your responsibility to the community and how you do spend your hex, and laddering in and dollar costing out and dollar costing in and all of those things. That's the responsible way to use hex versus the old way of pump and dump. The way the crypto community has been going over the last years. I mean, it's that marble theory that Richard was talking about in one of his videos a long time. He's used that analogy a few times. It's marbles in a jar, and when you take your marbles out, there's less marbles for everybody else. Correct. And all that stuff. And it's the way of the world. Unfortunately, somebody has to lose in order for somebody to win. And so in a way, everything, no matter what it is some type of a Ponzi, because a lot of people have to put their financial energy into these things, stocks, bonds, all of this, for there to be some type of a return for somebody else. But how that return is realized and accessed and used against the community that gave to it is important. And I think that Hexicans actually understand that, and that they're talking about that, and that they're thinking about how they're going to realize their gains. I mean, we're going to have it. People are going to dump. People are going to take a lot of gains. People are going to do things like that. But I think that the community, and if we do have an open dialogue about that, we can all start to think about, how to better exit into fiat, or how to better treat the community that you're gaining from. How much is enough? How much is hedging your life? That kind of stuff. So,
It's because the community. It's because we care, RG. Like what you can actually see that, like Richard is leading by example in the sense that, you can tell that he's got a. I know you try to separate emotion from business and whatnot, but you can see that he deeply cares about Hex, and he cares about the Hex price, and he does. And I know it's a cliche. It's probably a quote of his that he says the only thing that matters in crypto is the price. And he cares about the Hex price, and it affects his mood. And I know that I care about my emotions are similar in a similar sense when seem to be linked to my bank account. If my bank account's running low, I'm sad. If my bank account's running high, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Well, it's a testament also to Richard. I want to highlight what you just said. A lot of people want to become rich. A lot of people want to become wealthy. And they care about the price of the asset that they hold, right? Or the company that they built to make a cash flow and become profitable. They care very passionately because they want to change their lifestyle, right? I don't think that's the same with Richard. I think that's completely different from Richard. I think that Richard already has basically the things he cares about materially. This is a message about legacy, and as narcissistic and as egotistic as it sounds, he wants to deliver on some of the principles of crypto and shove it in people's face and say, you weren't living honest to the creed of crypto, and this is what you get.
Oh, mate, I can't wait for that. I'm waiting. I love to see Richard unload on those blokes that sort of tried to hold him down. And I mean, some of the stuff that went on was borderline slander, like it was probably, if he wanted to, he could probably go after some of those bloody jokers with lawyers, because I mean, they just, man, the stuff that we used to see, what happened in the chats and things with the memes and things that they used to use Richard Hart's, the face in the hole with Richard Hart. Oh my God, they're good ones now. Don't get me wrong, I love the memes, I love the Hex memes and the if it's kind of positive, but some of the trolling, oh my God, it was off. It was another on another level, some of that shit. So, but
it's
anyway,
slowing down now.
Yeah. Well, they're running out of ammo. They must be, because it's like you can't argue with the chart, mate. Hey,
you're sitting when you're sitting at space 10, and they're like, oh shit, how the fuck did this thing get here, man? Holy fuck.
Everybody likes a David and Goliath story too, an underdog story. I mean, all the
and it's gonna be,
we've had,
there's gonna be a movie about this shit.
Maybe.
There will be a movie. There will be a movie about this one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we're gonna shock the crypto world, and it's funny, they could laugh at all this stuff right now, but when it comes true, we're gonna shock the fucking crypto world. We're gonna shock them.
They're gonna be interviewing us.
Level shift. Yep, definitely seismic level shift. Yep,
seismic. It's already happened. Nobody ever expected this to happen. What has happened already? Nobody ever expected this thing to be where it's at right now. They're like fucking perplexed right now. We've done it already. Hex has done it. This community has built something that no other community has ever built. Hex has done something no other crypto has ever done. I mean, they're fucking perplexed. They don't even know what happened to them. We do. We know what happened to them. We told them we were coming, and here we are at their doorstep. This is a Babe Ruth pointing at the fucking bleachers right now, man, going, watch this, motherfuckers. Here it comes. And that's what Richard did, and that's what we all did. And bam, we did it. And that motherfucker's sailing over the fence right now, and there ain't a goddamn thing they can do to stop that thing. They can't do nothing about it. Hex is here. It's coming. It's going to eat your goddamn lunch, guys. Watch out.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, Hex is also the first cryptocurrency that will have price discovery determined entirely by the free market. So meaning like when Bitcoin first came about, that was always traded on centralized exchanges. So there's all sorts of stuff that we'll never know about that I'm sure has in some way like impacted its growth potential today, but that's not the case with Hex. Like Hex was the first one to basically it was the first one on decentralized exchanges, period. You can't compare other ERC projects because of the fact that exchanges had a huge bag that they were given for free. So there's all sorts of manipulation that resulted from that basically fractured the liquidity. But in this case, it's the exact opposite. Like we've never. This is the first time we're seeing this.
Yeah, real price discovery, like you said, versus the market making of a central party that got that for free. You know.
Yeah. Crypto's going to make a comeback, and Hex is going to be sitting on top for everybody to see. And people are going to understand it versus all the other bullshit that was out there. All of the tech talk, freaking ICOs and shit coins and everything else that was out there.
Partnerships to come, and when the banks get involved, and all the narratives. Yeah.
Nobody could understand all that stuff. Once onboarding and all this KYC stuff and everything is made simpler. Once you could just put your freaking ID card in, scan it, you got an account, boom, you can buy crypto instantly, and wham, you could turn it into Hex and stake it instantly, and you got it on your app on your phone. That's when it's going to take on mass adoption for everybody else out there, and Hex is going to be the coin that can do that when everything starts to move again. I mean,
it'll be in that top tier basket. There'll be a top tier basket of cryptos that'll be the ones that outlive, and all the rest of them.
It's a very suitable 401k pension plan.
It totally is. I mean, there's so much money out there looking for a home.
The government just buys
a lot of money
so that they can say, look, if you just stake it, whenever you start working.
And just on that, Gary, and I've got to jump off. In a second, but we've got our and just on that, we're actually talking to. I'm putting together a stream with Day 43 OG in probably another hour or so, and we've got our adopted crypto grandma coming on. You boys spoke to her.
Yes.
We're going to be interviewing her in probably about another hour and a half or so. So that's going to be a really interesting conversation, and we're going to get the don't get wrecked. But boys, I'm going to have to love you.
Are you guys on Dlive?
I can't work out how to do the Dlive. We're on Twitch, we're on Periscope, and we're on YouTube basically. And
what are you using to restream? Are you using restream.io?
I don't know what that is. Sorry, mate. I'm a bit of a technophobe, but don't. I can't work. We're not on Dlive, mate. And but I'm trying to. I guess what do you call that? Get across multiple platforms so that we're getting that.
Yep.
Is he using StreamYard? Maybe he's using StreamYard.
We are using StreamYard. Using StreamYard, but we're not. When I go into the platforms or link it up,
maybe you and I need to talk. Maybe you and I need to talk. I can help you out with that.
Talk with RG, I'll help you. But you should be on Dlive as well.
No worries. I appreciate you, boys.
It's free.
All right, bro.
Love you guys.
Have a good one.
And I'll catch you later.
Later.
Cheers, boys.
Always good having that cheeky bloke show up.
He's funny, dude. I mean, he's gonna start a little bull run with his panty distribution. I know he's got pre-printed X panties given to strippers. He's like,
he's the worst in the Cutthroats chat room, man.
I love it, man.
Some of the shit he puts in there. He sometimes he puts them up and he has to pull them down. They're so bad. He's like, okay, mate. I didn't mean to put that one up.
He's got a collection. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And he's dressed different every stream.
I know he looks different. Like he comes in with a hat on and he looks like awesome. he's in his 50s, and he comes on and he doesn't have a hat or nothing. He looks like he's 30. I mean, he's always got some different look going on.
He's all like prepped up in his suit, and he does like the backwards baseball cap. I was like, yeah, you're like clones or something. There's like 7 of you.
I love all my pirates. You guys are freaking. Every one of you are awesome, man. You all got different personalities, and you're all pirate as fuck, man. I just freaking love all you guys. It's awesome having this community.
Have you guys checked in with Big K? I haven't seen Big K in a while. I hope
He was on the show last Friday. He came on.
Yeah.
He came on. Was it Friday? Yeah, I think he came on the FN Hangout. He was on. Yeah, he's been busy. He's got the new baby and everything, so he's been busy.
I'm excited about this 24-hour stream that's coming up. And where are you at on your number of people on the Dlive channel? How many members you got now?
We are at right now 700 officially right now.
Whoa, 700.
That's awesome.
Well, we're not on page 1 anymore of when you go to the home page on let me see. I'm having a hard time pulling it up because I'm on this stupid freaking my internet is not.
We're number fucking 1 right now.
Oh, are we?
Yeah, we're number 1 right now.
See, I don't know why I'm not showing that I'm not even showing us on the front page. So you're showing us up on the okay. Well, thanks, Dlive.
Block himself.
Yeah, I could should have screen share.
That's all right. I believe you. I just when I pull it up, there's some guy gaming up there on the front page.
Oh no! Oh, you know, up there, yeah, that rotates. But I'm talking about the drop down when there's a first place.
Oh wait, where's the drop down? Let me see. That's just what you got to do.
Scroll down a little bit. That's the first place. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I don't have it spread wide enough. There we go.
Isn't that a problem sometimes?
Let me spread this out a little bit. Here we go.
Make sure it's ribbed.
Well, look at there. Okay, now I see what we're talking about. Oh boy. All right, I'm not gonna mess with this because my internet is not. I'm probably.
Hey, you've been doing good shows recently with your podcast, Holocaust. I've been enjoying this quite a bit.
Oh, thank you, man.
It's been nice.
What happened?
It's a little bit different than only Hex Talk, and it's really good stuff.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a couple of hexagons. A lot of you guys are pretty busy actually. I've been trying to set up a couple interviews and stuff. But one-on-ones or just me and Wasabi with one other person, and then you can really like have a real like concentrated kind of conversation because when you're doing a podcast, it's just like this. It's just audio.
Yeah.
So you can actually get a little more intimate actually and really think out what you're thinking and stuff. Because it's like when you're on a stream, you're like this. Got to look straight at the camera.
Not me. I don't care. It's like
finger up the nose,
But you know what? I have noticed that it's better when you have only 3 or 4 people on stream because once we start like FN Hangout, man, it's like when we got 10 guys in there, it just starts getting everybody's talking over each other. It's getting wild and that's fine because I want everybody to be able to get on stream and show their faces to the community and all that's cool. But it's hard to have a decent conversation and talk about topics and get real good conversations going when there's too many people. You start stepping on at one another. Especially we got guys like me that talk too much and freaking Gary. We'll just keep on talking and talking and talking and talking and talking, and then nobody else gets to freaking talk.
You two talk a lot? No.
and then
I just use all the words.
Put Johnny Chaos, and Gary together, and it's like fucking everybody's just like, "Would you guys shut the fuck up?" And then we got the guy.
I say to myself, I should shut up.
Then we got a guy that really should be saying something like Wasabi, and he just sits there and kind of goes, "Okay, well, when they ask me a question, maybe I'll say something."
Wasabi's just doing his steaks over there. I know what he's doing.
I'm listening. I'm doing stuff on the while this stuff is going on. So
yeah, we could see everything in your glasses, bro. By the way, just to let you know, we've got your password.
Oh, that's what. I was taking out the reflection.
I had bought Decentraland so that I could try and get something done there, like 2 months or 3 months ago. Yeah. But I sold all that mana, dude. I was like, it's got to go Hex. It can't be dormant anymore. I converted it.
Mana and all that stuff, and like Decentraland is going to be really hot next year. It's not.
Thanks, Yoden.
It's not the year for me. It's got to become a Hex.
Hex Shark dropped us a diamond. Yoden dropped us. Yoden's dropped us a couple diamonds now. into
Is
the
that
fryer.
Yoda that does the videos on? Is it the same
Yes.
guy, the oil
Yes.
buyer? How
Yep,
does he have these video editing skills? I mean, this guy's like talent is to make like MTV videos or some shit. He's really got talent.
Yeah, he's just he told me, he goes, man, I'm just streaming with my phone just when I can out in the oil fields, and
I feel like such an idiot whenever I look at his video, how polished and how nice and the music goes together and the sound bites of Richard talking. I was like, damn it, this oil rigger guy is totally kicking ass in the digital marketing space. What the fuck? Dude, really good stuff. If you haven't already seen his videos, you should definitely go visit his channel.
Yeah. What I like is that most of the streams like that are just real, you know, like Timmy Benjamin, like all of his streams are just real. He'd be like, hey, it's lunchtime. He goes and sits in his car and he just does a stream, you know. And then of course, you know, the king of it all, Johnny Chaos, just does his, you know, sitting in the backyard at lunchtime, you know, cracking out a video on the haters or whatever. I mean, all that stuff is just brilliant because it's just Hexkins giving their opinions, showing what we know, talking to crypto, telling everybody who we're all about. And you guys all out there, you're capable of doing that. Everybody's got a smartphone. I mean, I literally run our stream around the country on my smartphone in hotel rooms. You know, all the production value and everything that we have here, it's really that simple. And I'm not that bright, guys. I really am not that bright. So for me to figure it out and be able to do it, you guys can all do it too. You know, it's not hard. And the only thing I got going for me is I'm old as fuck, and I've been, you know, wrecked 100 billion times. So I mean, I could speak to it that way, you know, with a little bit of wisdom. You know, that's about it. So you guys can do it too. You guys are all smarter than I am. You guys know the space. You guys know what crypto is all about. There's a lot of you out there that should be speaking to the crypto, because look, we're the influencers now. They're done. They're done. There are no more influencers out there that are worth the shit, because they've all proven themselves to be lying, cheating, conniving fuckbags. And you guys are the real deal. So get out there, Hexikins, and start talking, man. Start taking this thing over. It's ours now. It's ours to give up. If you give it up, if you don't go out there and take charge of it and show everybody what crypto is really all about, we're giving it up. By, you know, we've got first right of refusal. They don't have anything on us. They've already proven themselves to be lazy, to be on the take, and to not care about the crypto community. And all of you guys, all of you who got into Hex, they didn't give a shit about any of you if they were shilling other shit. They didn't care about you. They didn't care about your money, your family, nothing. Here we do. Here we talk in depth about how to move forward with your investments in Hex, how to stake it out for long term, how to take care of your bags, your Hex bags. That's what we do here. How to take care of crypto, how Hex is going to influence crypto, how Hex is going to make crypto better, how we're going to help DeFi exchanges take over the regular exchanges, how we're going to help Hex take over all of the mining that's going on out there and make crypto a better place. That's what we talk about here, and that's what we should all be talking about. So, we have first right of refusal, guys. It's up to us. If we don't take it, we gave it up. Bottom line.
First right of refusal. That's a good phrase. That's true.
Damn, Skippy.
It is. It's ours to give away.
Yeah, kind of hard to follow Captain on that one.
Well, I mean,
a rocket punch.
He's right though, because there's going to be the.
Of course, I am.
At the end of the market cycle, so that's going to really that's really going to paint the picture, and like, yeah, the opportunity's there, because like if not like this community, then somebody else is gonna try and take it, whether for good or bad, I don't know. But well, from the current influencers, obviously bad, but but yeah, the opportunity is definitely there for sure, 100%.
Jesus will not forsake you, people.
Cookie Boy
All right,
says,
well, I think I'm going to sign out. It's pretty late here, and I've got stuff I got to do tomorrow.
all right, Gary.
All right, good job.
Thanks for coming on, bro.
See you guys later.
All right,
See ya.
have a good one.
So there we go. Another one down.
And then there was 3.
And then there was 3. Oh, the sound has gotten better all of a sudden, too.
Right. You probably had a little static.
Freaking Gary.
Yeah, I mean, notice that white noise.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah.
I sound nice and quiet now.
Right. It's like a Cadillac on my ears.
It's like a Cadillac on my ears. Right on. So, so I want to get a little deeper with you guys on that. You know, we talk numbers all the time. We talk, you know, the fundamentals of the Hex project all the time. But we don't talk. I mean, and I've been banging on this drum right now, especially right now, because the iron is hot on this one, guys.
Right.
It's all of the fear should be gone from all of us, because I admit it. I admit it. In the beginning, I was fearful too. I mean, crypto is a very intimidating space. There are a lot of smart people, or appear to be smart people, in crypto. And I've been around a lot of them for a long time. And I may not be smart, but I'm wise. And I may not be the most intelligent as far as, you know, technology goes, but I know it's necessary. And I know what it means to advance. And I know I know the place that technology is going to have in all of our future, and for the future of crypto and what it needs to do. Because we can't stagnate. Crypto can't stagnate. It is a technology, bottom line, and it has to move forward. So sitting there staring at a broken Bitcoin and trying to rally around it and trying to create narrative and excitement for it is the wrong thing to do. I've said this a million times. It's like all of us, if we were to have stood around VCRs and said, no, don't go to CDs. How dare you go to CDs? VCRs are the way to go. And then, you know, or wait, let's even Super 8 video on reel to reel was the way to go. Don't go to VCRs, guys. That's where we're at with this. That's where we are. We're at Super 8, freaking film, reel to reel. That's what Bitcoin is. It was the first thing in our technology, in our space. And that's what it was. You've got to move to VCR, CDs, and then into MPs. I mean, that's MP4s or whatever. You know, you have to advance technology, period, end of story. If you're not, you're dead in the water. And of course, a reel to reel has its nostalgic place. It has its value in the community, in the video world, or whatever you want to call. But you have to advance. You have to move forward. You have to go into the next thing. You know, ICOs and Ethereum, they were the VCR, and now we're moving into the CD realm. You know, crypto still has a long way to go, but for some reason, and it hasn't advanced as fast as it should have, like every other technology. Think of a technology that has sat in the same place for 10 years with no advancement. There isn't a single technology out there that does that anymore. In the last couple of decades, that hasn't happened. But for some reason, Bitcoin has. And why? Because a bunch of people have big, fat fucking bags of it, and it's worth something. And they want it to be worth more. And that's the only reason why nobody's looking at other stuff. That's the only reason why the Bitcoin community shit-talked all of the other altcoins. They should have been backing them up. But most of them, it turned out to be that they were all just trying to capitalize on the volatility of the space, you know, and the easy manipulation of it, and doing it all underneath the dark of night where the SEC couldn't see them or you know, do anything to it. Because basically, we're trading baseball cards here. We're not. You know, all the government said, okay, it's not a currency, it's a commodity, it's a baseball card, it's a coin, it's a whatever. It's not a currency. It's really just a collectible, you know. And so because of that, they've been able to get away with all the crap that they've gotten away with. So, I mean, it is up to us to help crypto advance into the 21st century, to move away from that 10-year stagnation that it's been in, and say, hey, and I don't want to shit talk. It's hard not to shit talk Bitcoin because of all the maxis. Bitcoin has its place. Bitcoin has its nostalgia. Bitcoin gets its respect from me. However, it is not the end all be all, and it's not where we all need to focus our eyes and attention on. We need to move into the future, and HEX is that future for crypto. HEX is going to help change crypto and move crypto in the right direction. And it's up to us, guys. I mean, Richard can't be the only one out there that has enough balls to go out there and tell all these people that they're wrong, because they are wrong. All of them. They're all wrong right now. And there isn't a one of them out there that can back up what it is that they're doing to this space. Not one of them. And they can't back up what they're doing to HEX. None of them. So they've all been lazy. They've all been complacent. And they've all been running around with their eyes closed. And if they're not lazy, they're compliant with running their own scam, which is what crypto is right now. Sorry, crypto is a scam right now. If you're in anything else, you've got big, big problems out there, because you can get rug pulled. You're going to get dumped on. Everything else out there is pretty much shit. And I don't know if anything is getting better, because I quit looking at it now. Crypto has gotten me to stop even looking or caring about it anymore. I can't sit there and wonder if Cardano's going to really do anything, or if Litecoin's really going to nimble-wimble its way out of its problems, or if, you know, somebody's going to do something and build something for Bitcoin. I can't sit there and do that anymore. We've been doing it for years. We've been doing it for years, and that's over. They've had their chance and they've blown it. HEX came out. It did it. HEX did it, guys. Not any of the others. HEX did it. And now it's time to look at fucking HEX and see what it's going to do to the crypto community. And we have to be the ones to expose it, because they've all demonized the fuck out of Richard so that nobody will listen to him, you know? Yeah. And we've got to do it, because none of these other fucks are doing it. All these crypto chicos and freaking soy boys and woof this and woof that, Wall Street motherfuck this, and all these other guys, you know, if they're not talking about crypto and dating advice at the same time, it's like, you know what? Fuck you guys. This is what cryptos should be about. This is what decentralized looks like. Here's decentralized exchanges. They're coming. These are the things we should be talking about, you know, instead of all this other bullshit. So, I want this community to really get out there and reach down and grab a pair and start talking to all of these people. And I'm not talking about just trolling them. I mean, I do enough of it. Hey, thanks for the Ninja Guinea there, Hexo Nasco. I do enough of the trolling out there, you know. But I mean, on the other hand, I've seen some very good conversations come up with this gentleman that I was, who was I banging on this afternoon?
Johnny Lightman?
It was, I don't know if it was on the Johnny. Yeah, it was Johnny. It was Johnny. Yeah. So it was Johnny, and the gentleman that was trying to talk to him was actually trying to speak to him and say, hey, look, I have a lot of respect for you, but I think you're wrong about this. And then Johnny said some snide-ass comment. And then, of course, the rest of us jumped in. It's like, oh, fuck you, Johnny, you piece of shit. Yeah. What the fuck? Who are you to call? He was like dismissing us, like, oh, you guys don't have any followers. I don't care if I don't have any followers. That has absolutely nothing to do with this. I mean, freaking, you know, some of the biggest world changers, some of the biggest changers of the world had no followers. So what are you talking about? You know, so that's irrelevant. And then he tried to meme himself out of the conversation. He tried to carry Charlie's water for him, and it just turned into this little shit show thing that we were just going back and forth. But I mean, the conversations that we need to have with these people need to be a lot more intelligent and a lot more mature. So I need to stay out of some of them, but so they need to, you know, people need to actually talk to them about what's going on out here. Right. And I know it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard because they have all got bags, and when people got bags, they don't want to talk about your project. They want to talk about theirs, and they want to freaking ditch your shit. So I don't know how we're going to ever get over that. But once the mass adoption starts to take place, that's going to start to change. So
success, just staying alive for longer, just being around for longer and longer and longer. And of course, no expectations, but our community is wonderful and is going to keep making new things to make Hex even better. I mean, of course, no expectations, obviously, but, you know, just new APIs, new apps, new ways to new kind of ways to spend or save your Hex, you know, and then, you know, it's just staking and stuff. I mean, it's going to snowball, you know, and plus too, as the price is going up right now, we're getting a ton of attention. We're going to get way more Hex again. So the guys in the chat, please be really helpful to anyone that's new. Obviously, if anyone's asking a question, and you guys have been really good on that and stuff, but anytime anyone has a question, just take a little bit of time out and say, hey, here's a layman's guide, or like, hey, here's this. I know it's a little hard to recommend sometimes how long to stake something. I know some of you guys want to go 555 to a new guy, but you should start them off maybe a year, and get their feet wet or something, or like get them big, past big payday at least. And then from there they can learn what Hex is and stuff, and then learn about T-shares and stuff. Because it's Hex is as complicated as you want to make it, and you never want to scare too much people, but if anyone's asking for help, help them out. And obviously, if someone on social media is giving you vinegar, you hit them right back with vinegar, but try to educate them and back with honey and stuff. But and if they're just being dickheads, and fuck them, meme them, drop your show link like Richard said. Why not? They're gonna block you anyway.
Yeah. I'm just gonna start telling them, hey, look, send me your ETH address. I'll send you some Hex, bro. We'll just call it a day. Yeah. They'll never do it. So, especially like if it's like Johnny over there at Litecoin or something. I don't think he has an ETH address. Yeah.
I'm not to shit talk Johnny Kim, because I like him and stuff, but like
I do too, dude. He's always made me laugh. I've always liked his material. He's funny as shit. He seems like a really nice guy, but he really dismissed the Hexkins in a way that was really kind of like unworthy of him. I thought I always liked the guy. I thought he was. I mean, we didn't know each other, but I always saw his content. I followed him, and he freaking made me laugh a few times. So, but hey,
he only has like 21,000 followers. That's nothing. There's like Instagram bitches out here with like fucking 2 million. Like, what the fuck are we talking about right here? Like,
well, hey, none of us can compare to Instagram.
I know, but I'm just saying, there's levels to this shit. I mean, it's like Richard said, there's guys that make keyboard reviews that got more fucking followers than Richard and shit. Like, what are we? I mean, there's levels to this shit,
Yeah.
But so I mean, we shouldn't be standing on a guy like, I have 21,000 followers. You fucking knave. You should be kneeling before me and my followers. Okay, bro. Chill.
And I mean, and like my followers, I got my followers, but they're all the same followers that all of us have. So whenever I tweet anything out, it's the same people. So it's really like it's like a sealed community. I'm in this box, so it doesn't matter really how many followers I have. We're all saying the same things to each other. So I've never even looked at that as any type of a metric at all.
We all get more powerful over time as more and more people enter. We all follow each other, and we're kind of like each other's shield in a way as well. And damn, dude, this community is gonna be powerful, man. Holy shit! Like, not even just in numbers, but in the money as well in the future, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
The financial power that the Hexagon whales are going to have. So there's a whole pod here. I mean, I was looking at our top wallets, and like anyone who's in the top like 2,000 wallets in any coin are like those are like the whales. Those are the movers of the coin. Those are that's where the most of the wealth is. Now, if Hex does what we think it's going to do, then those top 2,000 wallets, I mean, those are going to be the Hex, the whale pod, Right. I mean, of course you're going to have the top 150, 200 wallets that are going to be like freaking godheads, hold, most of the high dollar wealth as far as the wallets go. But the top 2,000 are going to be, very powerful wallets. And those are all more than likely going to be, launch period wallets, people that are in launch period wallets. And those are all the dolphins and all the sharks and all the whales and some of the people that are staking are going to end up being, top 2,000 wallets because of their staking strategies and how they stake, and all these, they've got a lot of long stakes out there, and then they're going to be moving, and they're going to be young guys that, didn't have a lot to put in the beginning, but they wanted to build it, and they're building it over the next 10 or 15 years. Those guys are the smart ones that are going to be the freaking, the future whales of Hex, because
a lot of money. I mean, if you got more than 300 shares right now, man, you're sitting pretty right now. That's for damn sure, because I mean, we are in this cycle, we could go to like $2,000-$3,000 per trillion share. 3,000. That means if you're sitting with a couple hundred T-shares right now, you're sitting on like $1 million worth of T-shares. Dude, of course you're waiting. It's not all going to hit you at the same time, but like that's a nice little spread out income hitting your, especially if you're really young right now. If you're 18, man, I almost want to say fuck you, but I'm trying to feel what RG feels a little bit. Like I'm almost 30, and I'm like, damn, that should be 18 with like some stakes right now.
That's how I feel about you 30-year-olds, man. Yeah, no, but you know what, man? It's cool. It's cool as hell being around all you young guys and being able to even be in this space at this capacity with all you guys. I know there's a few of us older dudes out here, but being able to hang out with it is freaking cool. And I can't wait till we got money. So we all say, hey, let's we're all gonna go meet at the Grand Wailea in Maui for a week over here. We all jump in our jets and go to Maui and hang out at the Grand Wailea. And you ever been to that hotel?
No, I haven't.
Holy, not to change the subject or anything, but
yeah.
Fucking, that's a shit right there, man. We won a trip one time, me and my wife, and we took the whole family out there, and I wasn't knowing what to expect. And this is like, so Oprah and Tiger have houses on each side of this hotel. So they're like, okay. That's what it is. It's like, it's got private beach, in Maui, and right. The houses that all are on both sides of it are like, I mean, the elite of the elite, the people that are just freaking filthy rich. And that's the place to go in Hawaii that's got the money. But the Grand Wailea is like freaking opulent, free massages, and everywhere you go is real flowers growing inside the hotel and all that. And just the food is freaking phenomenal. They've got a pool that's like a water park. You know what I mean? It's like a water park. It's got a lazy river that goes around it. It's got a water elevator inside the freaking mountain of the water slides and all that shit, sitting at the pool. And Paris Hilton was there when I was there that time. And I mean, just like all the richest of the rich, and just a freaking good ass time, man. That place is nice. The Grand Wailea is nice. Anyway, I was just reminiscing.
We'll do a little corporate meeting out there one of these days.
Yeah, a staker. We'll have staker meetup, super staker meetup events.
Right. Yeah.
Probably, honestly, not so far away. So
really, yeah. It's not. I mean, shit. By 21, 22, dude. My God. I don't know, man. I'm not trying to get ahead of myself, but man, those stakes after 2 years are looking nice. Let me tell you that.
Yeah, they're gonna be some fun times, man. And that's what I'm saying. You in order to enjoy that stuff, you got to turn it into fiat. So, but being responsible for it. What's that? Tax write-off trip. Exactly.
It's a corporate trip. We'll
talk about that later. So we'll set up an organization of Hexicans that we talk about the well-being of the community and how we're going to speak to it as far as being responsible to the coin itself. And we'll have meetings a couple times a year in different places. There we go. Perfect write-off trip. Got to do stuff like that.
At least the part on the where you mentioned being responsible about it. I mean, I know we mentioned like staking ladders a lot, but that's also going to be super important too. Is like over time, like you can still have your ladder set up to protect basically your T-shares, because it's like over time, like your percentage like of the sum is gonna like decrease over time, just with the way the model works for the T-shares. Because like next cycle, it's going to be much harder to get like a huge stack of T-shares that bumps you up in the bracket. So that's also going to be that's where traders are really going to get bounced out of the market anyway, is on the T-shares. Because that's, I mean, after the big payday, my understanding is that the price of that ends up doubling. So even if like the price basically has to crash 50% where you buy like the equivalent amount, and that's not going to be, that's the whole thing. Like I don't really see the risk to reward there. Like if even just from like a trading perspective, like there's like an opportunity cost, and that's why if you set it up earlier, you're gonna end up benefiting the most anyway. Like that there's kind of that meme that Richard made recently. It's pretty true, where you have your staking ladder set up, and then he was just comparing it to like a hodler for just a coin that you buy and hold, but you get inflated away. Like even like Bitcoin to an extent, and then the other extreme where you have traders that there's going to be a really big pit they fall into after big payday. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
because you're gonna get, it's gonna end up smoothing out anyway from, because really when I think traders, I kind of group it into two categories. You have just people basically getting in and out, but then also you are going to see it to an extent like with the emergency unstakes throughout like the next couple of years. So there's going to be a lot of hex that comes in from that.
Richard, Hexo, and me.
Who made that?
Awesome.
I think it was who was it? Who made it? I think Hexadecimal made it. Yeah, because
okay.
like there's Hexadecimal right there in the corner.
You could make that your like your banner or something. That's
yeah,
awesome.
I should, right?
I got to finish the one I made for us.
Oh yeah, you were showing
So-
that recently, right? With you have the new design set up for your show.
Oh, that's just our logo.
Oh, okay.
But I have another one where it's a bunch of pirates and our faces are imposed in the pirates' faces.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I gotta pull that one out. I'll start putting that on the FN Hangout. But we're getting ready to 10 to 25 made millionaires with just a few ETH. Wait, day 10 through 25. Yeah, with just through. And something that Richard has always been saying from the beginning. He said, "We're making new whales," and he meant that if you read between the lines on that, there's a lot more than just. He's not talking about just money.
Right.
You know, a whale has a responsibility to its crypto community. Whales have the ability of wrecking a crypto, like when that other coin boomed for the first time, and the founder dumped all of his coins at the top. That was an irresponsible whale move. It was a bitch move, and it was irresponsible. So whales have a responsibility to the ecosystems in crypto. Period. End of story. You know, and that's the argument against Richard and Hex, is that he's too big of a whale. You know, he has too much control. There's too big of a bag there for him to, destroy the project. But he's always talked about responsible whales and creating new whales. So that needs to be our narrative, and we need to be speaking like that, because this crypto project, Hex, is not going to be one of those. It's not one of those other cryptos. And in the community that's putting it together, and the whales that are being built are not the same as the other crypto communities. They're not. These are going to be. I'm sure we're going to have our dumpers. I'm sure we're going to, and it's inevitable. But there's so many people that are staking long, staking large, and becoming responsible whales that are realizing that they are going to be part of this ecosystem, that I think it's going to stabilize this project like nothing else has ever been done. Because of the mentality that we're already pumping into this project, and what Richard has done and what he said, and the integrity that's being built in. I think that we're going to have something here that there's going to be more trust in a trustless situation than has ever been before in a crypto.
I'd have to agree. I mean, what can I say? I'm just like, yeah.
I mean, human nature is human nature, and we're going to see that happen. But I think that if the if we're all on the same page and we're all creating a narrative and we're all creating an attitude and we're all operating with integrity, from our streamers to our stakers to everybody in the community, Richard, if we're all doing the right things, that's what we're going to attract. And that's what this is going to become. And yes, you're going to have your human nature people, but you can't game this thing. You can't get inside of Hex and fuck it up. You can't get inside it and turn a switch or, get a position that's going to, be able to harm the project or build a mining, try and attack it. There's not going to be any way to really attack Hex that way. And as long as the community continues to grow and continues to become a community of integrity and have good whales in it, then I think the project can go even further than we're even expecting it now. Because it's different than other cryptos. It's different.
Right. Yeah, it's way different.
But that's a narrative that needs to be spoken. We need to speak that into existence. Because that's the kind of people that we've attracted. And that's the kind of whales that are growing in Hex right now. That's all the people that are getting in year one. Mark my words. Those of you who even have bags that you think are small, you guys are going to have monster bags compared to everybody else in year 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. These bags are going to be so desired. These T-shares that you're getting right now are going to be so desired, so rare. You're going to be holding such valuable property then. It's going to blow your freaking mind. It's going to blow your mind.
Woo! I mean, you got to think about it. Let's just say 3 years from now, 5 years from now, right? Bearish case. We're at 5 cents. How many people do you know that can throw $50,000 around into something in one shot, right? Because 1 million Hex, right? I know the share rate has gone up, but let's just compare this just with the Hex price. You need $50,000 to get 1 million Hex in 3 years or more. Yep. And the share rate went up. So how many shares do you think they're going to get? Not as much as they're going to now, right? I mean, in 4 or 5 years, you could have maybe the share rate could be 4 times higher than it is right now, maybe more. So it's like that 1 million Hex they just bought is like buying. It's like buying I don't know what is 180K of Hex today in terms of the share you can get. That's how big of a thing it is. And on top of that, the price is damn near 7x from here, and that's a low ball. I just said, as well, being at 5 cents. So, yeah, even if you don't think you have a big bag, you have a big bag. Trust.
Oh yeah, yeah. These first year bags they're all looking nice. They're all looking really nice. And of course, how many T-shares you have, and how long you've staked, and how large you've staked. I mean, that's really the key. I mean, you could have some Hex, but if you just have liquid Hex, it's just going to be the value of Hex. That's it, period. Right. It's those T-shares, man. It's the future value of Hex that you're buying into, and what the possibilities are. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it is, quite possible that we'll see, bigger dips. But gosh, I don't know how far under. I mean, once we hit that 1 penny mark, like you've always said, DC. I mean, it's like that's like this mental thing that when people see a penny in crypto, that thing doesn't stay a penny, and it usually doesn't drop under a penny unless it was a pump and dump, unless it was, like when Verge popped up over a penny and went crazy, and then dropped back down into sats. I mean, that was a pumpy dumpy whatever. You got a solid project here, a project as solid as any other crypto, Bitcoin, ETH, Litecoin, any of the other cryptos that have ever come out. So you got a project, and it's about to hit a penny in its first year. After big payday, after the year's over, after it becomes even more value because it's going to become more rare because there's not going to be any more produced, for it to sit under a penny is I don't think that will ever happen, to be honest. I don't know how it could drop down. I mean, how many of those other, Bitcoin never did it. It's never dropped back down to $30 or a penny or anything like that. It's gone up and now it's got its its measure, and it's going to stay there more than likely unless crypto completely falls apart. So how can Hex even go? I mean, how many of you out there look at Hex at a penny and go, fuck, I already did it. I made it already. You know, I'm already sitting at, you know, a retirement fund, or I'm already sitting at, you know, a couple $1 million. I'm already sitting at, you know, something that can buy me a house, or something that can, you know, get me a nice down payment on a house, or whatever, you know. I mean, I don't see it dropping too much under whatever we kind of like average out. And there's probably a point before big payday where we're gonna see a big sweep or something in the next you know, few weeks or whatever, and then it'll level itself out or whatever. I mean, I don't know. It could go to the fucking moon and never come back again, you know, and then level out somewhere else in a few months or whatever. Yeah. But you know, I don't see it dropping, you know, under that penny once we break that mental barrier and all of crypto starts to take a look at it and go, oh shit, this thing launched, it's still here, it hasn't rug pulled, it's all good. And whatever else, you know, there's all kinds of, Richard said it, I can't wait to, there's going to be some, you know, cool stuff that's happening. And I know that Firebun and Steph are working on some more stuff, so I think that, you know, they're Firebun and Steph are working on some stuff that are going to help the project even more. So scarcity, big payday being done, AA being done, Hex becoming, you know, not a baby no more, over a year old, starting to cut its teeth, and people are looking at it as a real crypto out in the regular crypto community. I mean, holy shit, man! What you know, the realization of price could be anything from there, and it's so easy to move it. It's going to be so easy to move it up. And I don't see it going down because of all the people that are staked, invested in it, and that believe in it. Everybody that's in it right now pretty much is either the OA that's sitting over there that ain't doing nothing, or it's everybody believes in it, you know?
Right. And if it did go down, I mean, there's a bunch of people that are going to buy it the fuck up. That's for sure. Yeah.
Everybody's in the chat. Fuck a cent. 50 cent. What is this? A pump for ants? I mean, I remember there was a time a few months ago that we were all talking about, you know, hey, it'd would be nice if it hits a penny for big payday.
Right.
We were talking about that. I remember. If we get a cent, man, if we hit a cent, man, that's going to be so freaking sweet, man. So freaking sweet. And, you know, and I'm going to be honest and dox myself a little bit here. I've lost most all my money in crypto that I put in crypto, I got to say. But the gains that I have right now as it sits have never, my crypto gains have never been, you know, what they are now. Period. End of story. Hex has like fulfilled all of my crypto dreams as far as it goes. All of my losses wiped out. Everything that I ever put into crypto, I've now more than returned. More than anything I've even imagined returning on, you know? So yeah. You guys underestimate the share price. I think you guys underestimate the share price. I don't underestimate the share price. I emergency end staked stakes to make sure that I didn't underestimate the share price, because I don't want to pay. I don't want to pay more for those shares in the future. So I got my principal out and restaked it out longer and decided that was the thing to do. And it increased my share bag like you would not believe. So I seen the value in that. And that was one thing Richard said. He goes, I didn't anticipate people emergency end staking to stake longer so that they can get a better share price. And because they built this thing so good, that's the kind of behavior that it creates. Where else on earth or where else in crypto would you see somebody taking their gains and giving them up so that they can actually, you know, lock their coins up for longer? I took a hit. I took an actual hit on my gains. It was the interest gains, not my principal gain, of course, because I waited till they were 50% done. But where else would you do that? Take those losses so that you can push it out even longer. You have that much confidence in the project that, because anywhere else you'd be like, no, I better get out of this thing now while I'm ahead. I'm going to take my shit and run. No, I'm out of here, man. I've been in this, played this game before. And I mean, there's a part of my brain that still has that scar on it, that 2018 scar on it from all the freaking all the hodling up to the fucking bottom of the sea, and Davy Jones' locker hodling. And, but I don't feel that way with Hex. I'm like, hey, fucking 10 years out, man. I'm cool with that. 10, 15 years? Hell yeah, I'll build a staking wall out at 15 years too, on top of the 15-year stakes I already have. Hell yeah, I'll put this stuff out there, be part of the ecosystem and grow and hold shares and be part of the whale pool, basically, Hell yeah. And then those old share bags, I mean, we talk about like the Genesis whale, the old ETH. What's old ETH? 8 years old, 9 years old?
No, it's like 2016.
Oh, that's old ETH. 2016 is old ETH.
That's old ETH. Yeah.
So that's 5 years old.
5 years old.
What the fuck, man?
So we're gonna be like, yo, that's OG. That's whale. That's fucking that's AA fucking Hex right there, man. That's AA Hex.
I mean, you got tennis shoes that are still in freaking fashion that are 5 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that old. And these stakes, these shares are going to be legendary. They're going to say, oh my gosh, some 10-year stake some 10-year shares just got eliminated from the share pool. New ROI has been changed. That's old school Hexagon money right there. That's OG Hexagon freaking
money, baby.
That's OG Hex right there, boy. Woo, look at that whale. Look what he's doing with it. Yeah, and they're going to be able to see everything, of course.
Oh, I know.
Staker app's going to be like having a freaking – by the time they're done with this thing, they're going to have a freaking microscope up your ass looking at your colon, knowing what the hell's going on in there. Freaking Stephen Firebun ain't giving anything I mean, damn, dude. I mean, you can see on the app, you could see your rankings. You could see every wallet. You could watch everything that's ever going down in it. You can watch it's like, fuck, man. Holy shit, dude. You guys have, freaking locked it in. It's going to be the most viewed crypto. It's going to be the most studied crypto. It's going to be, I mean, especially with stuff like these guys are coming up with. Let's see what the chat room's saying. Straight into Hex. Okay, Spirit Hex said, I'm so in love with Hex right now because I took the uni money and put it straight to Hex. I got nothing to lose. Free money. That is free money, baby. Why? Because we listened to what this community was doing. We all went in and used Uniswap. We all went in, and now we've all got that airdrop. And I did the same thing. I read the writing on the wall. I don't know if you guys all remember, but Richard real subtly said, hey, you've seen this stuff happen before. Usually what happens is when people do an airdrop like that, that coin takes a real big spike, and then for some reason, the bottom usually drops out of it, and so I don't know. I'm just saying. So I took that as a hint, and I said, you know what? He's right. Every time I've ever gotten an airdrop, it's, oh yeah, it looks great now. And then when I couldn't freaking sell it fast enough before it already dumped down to nothing,
Yeah. So
I swapped it all out at the top. Every one of my uni wallets, which was a freaking shit ton. Yeah, baby. Yeah. And turned it all into Hex. Right there. And then, of course, it dumped. And I sold it at the top, and I have all that free uni money. Oh, we lost Wasabi.
Yeah.
So anyway, I mean, hey, what's up, Steph? Steph's in there. Look at that Staker app. Steph. Yeah. Steph, you guys are freaking killing it, man. Killing it. Looking beautiful, man. I don't know how to get the damn thing to, I guess I got to unload it and reload it. Could you give me a yes on that one? In order to change iOS over so that I can get the dark mode? Do I have to unload it and then reload the new one? Or is there some way to just update it? We'll see what he says about that. But the new Staker app has a new look, guys. It's got the dark mode, so you can wake up in the middle of the night. Dude, do you sleep with your phone and like in the middle of the night sometimes wake up and pop it open and just look at the hex price right now? Are you doing that?
This is usually what I see on my phone. Like all my pictures, I just got nothing but hex memes on my fucking phone, dude.
Let's see.
God damn.
I'm waiting for Moody Swap. Let's see. Did he answer? Hey, Steph.
Hey, you should probably do another 3 names right now, Captain.
Yeah. So for those of you who might be new in the chat room, I'll do my whole new thing real quick here. Yeah. So for those of you new in the Dlive chat room, we do have 111 people. We have 66 people over in YouTube. So like, comment, subscribe, fuck the like button, do whatever you got to do, all that crazy shit to help support our channel here. But one of the things that we're doing to give back to all the Hexkin community, and for those of you on the tubes and the Dlives and all that stuff, is that we are giving away 1 million hex. And tonight you have the opportunity to actually capitalize on that. So we're picking 3 entries, and those 3 entries are going to be put on a wheel. And then when we hit 1,000 followers on our Dlive, we are going to give away 1 million hex, and that means 700,000 hex to the top prize, 200,000 hex to, oh boy, here we go. They're starting to spam it. I ain't picking yet. I ain't picking yet. I'm gonna slow everything down and then have everybody I'm gonna have you put something very specific in the chat from now on so that I can actually watch you bastards. Because thanks for all the ice creams and the lemons. You guys are freaking awesome. We're dropping on now. They're going crazy. Lemon war, lemon fight.
Lemon fight.
Lemon fight.
Ice cream fight. You guys. Ice cream fight.
Ice cream fight. Lemon fight. Spamming it up. Nice. But so we're giving away 200,000 second prize and a 100,000 hex first prize or third prize. Now that's 700,000 hex at a 5,555 day stake. I always like doing this because it's very, very turn on a 755. So 700,000 times as 175 million hex at 15 years. Did I do that right?
No. 700,000 hex staked at 555 is 3.4 million hex, and it's about
250x, right? Isn't it 250x?
Yeah, and it's the amount of T-shares
do that.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, it's 190
How many T-shares.
It's 190 T-shares. That's a lot of T-shares.
190 T. It's a lot of T-shares. Anyway, now how come I'm getting so 250x return, right? And as far as interest payments, is that the metric? Because that's 175 million.
Yeah,
175 million hex on your T-shares. That's a lot. What if you're $1? This stupid little contest can like freaking make you insanely wealthy. We're only going to do this once, guys. Once this is over, I can't give away 1 million hex anymore. We were lucky to get 1 million hex from somebody. I mean, it was just insane. There he goes. He's back. There, I'll put him back in. You all good now?
Yeah.
Take care of that.
My connection just dropped, so I had to restart a couple things.
That's okay.
But
so
sorry. What did I just miss?
Oh no, we're just talking about we're gonna do the wheel here in a minute.
Okay.
But I was just talking about the metrics of the 250x returns on a 15-year stake. And as far as the metrics being. So our little giveaway is producing a lot of HEX in year one here. So didn't realize 15-year stake returns so much. It does. It returns a lot because it's basically compounded interest is what you have. It's the power of compounding. And all of the models that Kyle ran, he was the guy that was running a lot of the models when they were building the share price. He actually helped with that part of the project. And he ran like a 50x return on, or 80x return on a 10-year stake. And then it just continues to grow exponentially after that. So it could be bigger, could be a little lower, but it's close, So, I mean, that's 175 million HEX at that point. And who knows what the price could be in 15 years. I mean, holy smokes. I mean, that's just, it's crazy. It's phenomenal. So anyway, so we're going to be giving that away for you new folks. And the reason that HEX does that, for those of you who are new to crypto or from their Dlive, we got a lot of people that pop in from Dlive and kind of get interested in crypto and start listening to what we're talking about, is that HEX is unique in the crypto space. Nothing has ever been like HEX. It's a finished project. It's a finished crypto. The contract is what's called immutable. If you got to look that up, look it up. Immutable and trustless. You're making trustless interest. And what does that mean? You don't have to trust another human being to hand you your interest in HEX, okay? So you're going to gain a certain amount of HEX by utilizing the contract. HEX is a ERC20 token, which makes it a contract token, which means that you can manipulate, you can do things with it. And what can you do with HEX? Well, you have to go and buy HEX. We have a couple of different ways. And what you can do is go to hex.doctor, that's hex.doctor, and go there and you can actually get 10% more HEX for going to the adoption amplifier. And what you do is you put your ETH into the adoption amplifier, and the adoption amplifier, you have to buy Ethereum through like Coinbase or some other on-ramping avenue. And those are all things you're going to have to discover and learn on your own in order to on-ramp into crypto. So you get some Ethereum, ETH, and then you're going to put that into the adoption amplifier. If you go to hex.doctor, it's going to show you exactly how to do all that. And you're going to put it in the adoption amplifier, and the adoption amplifier is going to spit you out a certain amount of HEX, plus your 10% more that you get for using that hex.doctor link. And then you're going to stake your own HEX. So the contract allows you to actually, mint your own HEX. You're going to receive HEX for the ETH that you put in based upon a bowl of HEX that is in. Bucket of HEX that's there, all the ETH that goes in for the day, the bucket of HEX gets distributed out to all the people that put the ETH in that day. And you're going to get your HEX, and then you could either exchange it, put it on an exchange, put it in Uniswap, trade it for another coin, so it moves just like any other crypto. You can use it just like any other crypto. It's fungible within the crypto ecosphere here, right? And then when you go to the staking portion of HEX, which is the power of HEX is really in its staking ability. So when you go to use the contract and you stake it, you have the ability to put your HEX in what's called like a crypto CD. All right. So what it is you put it in a certificate of deposit, meaning that you're going to put it out there and it's going to go into a time lock. And when you go into that time lock, you can do it for a day. You can do it for a year. You can do it for 2 years, 5, 10, all the way up to 15 years. And based upon how long and how much you put into that stake is how many shares you're going to get. Now, what happens is they burn your coins. So you go and you stake on a certain date, and that's the date they're coming out. Let's just say it's 5 years from now. They're going to give you a certain amount of shares for that. And those shares are always going to be becoming more rare. And it's a little hard to explain how the share rate works, but just imagine right now the share rate is going up. Every day from launch, it's going up. And then as we hit launch, it's going to rocket up. It's going to go up even higher. So those people that are in year one are going to get the best share rate ever. And then every day, today is the best share rate you're ever going to see ever again. Tomorrow it changes. The next day it changes after that. It's always getting worse and more expensive to get shares. Always. And those shares are becoming more and more rare. Now, on big payday, which we're all waiting for, there's a bunch of how many billion? There's a billion. There's a whole 1 point what?
What are you talking about?
1.8? The big payday. Big payday.
Oh, the big payday. There's it's about 130 billion hex that's going to be distributed to people.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
So it's a lot. Yeah, but in terms of dollars, it's about $1 billion of hex.
Okay, so on big payday, we're going to get distributed that based upon a metric is how many people are actually staking their hex. So on big payday, we are all going to get a big influx of hex based upon our stakes. And then after that, the adoption amplifier ends. Where I told you to put your hex, it ends. It's over. It's done. No more hex can be minted through that. It's only the staker class and those who have liquid hex that can actually put hex out on the market for people to purchase or to collect, whatever you want. And that's it. So it starts to become very, very rare. So when things become very, very rare, when things become hard to get, when people start staking and not wanting to spend it, and once they realize what happens to the share price after big payday, which the share price really rockets up after big payday, really rockets up. So at that point, people are going to be FOMO staking. So they're going to be wanting to get those shares because they know it's just going to grow even more exponentially. And I think right before big payday, that's going to be a realization too, because you really have only lost 10%. It's only increased in price up to about 10% here. It's 11 now, I think, right? 11% in the first year. So you haven't lost too much. So it's not a lot of FOMO staking. That's why our staking percentage is so low right now. So once the FOMO hits, because that staking is gonna get a lot more expensive and the share price is gonna get a lot higher, then you might see a lot more people staking. But so that's what you can do with hex. You can stake it, and then then when you get your hex back out, you remint your hex, and then your shares are gone. They're absolutely gone. And then you have to buy them at that point for the price that they are at that point. So you'll never get that price that you had again. Those old shares are going to be so valuable in the future, just having them in there, that people aren't going to realize that every time your stake comes up, they disappear. Your shares start disappearing, and you start becoming lower and lower as far as the value. Unless you've staked out far, unless you got a 15-year stake, your shares are just dwindling into nothingness. And for those of you who have big, stakes in the first couple of few years, you're going to realize that, oh my gosh, I've just lost all of my purchase power that I had in year one during the launch phase. And now, wow, now I've got to buy those shares for how much? Holy crap, So that's what hex is, and that's what we're talking about. And that's how we're trying to teach people as far as your staking strategies, to be very, very diligent about, what is going to work best for you, your age, your time horizon, that your needs in the future, how much you're actually investing into your crypto. You have to consider all that, and then the other variable is the price. We don't know what the price of hex is going to be. This is all just staking talk that we're talking about here. Price could be anywhere from 0 to, who knows what, $11,000 is what Bitcoin's at right now, right? So that's the possibilities. 0 to $11,000 is all I can tell you, is where it can go. 20,000, right? Crypto went 20,000 at one time. We hit 20K, so it could go to 20K. How's that sound? Because that's what crypto does. So the possibilities are that as far as price goes, 0 to 20K. And other than that, we don't really talk about, we always talk about price, of which we hope the price is going to be, what we think the price is going to be. We never know that. It's, that's just up to fate. But staking strategies and understanding shares and understanding the power of the launch phase is what we're here to talk about and what we're here to show you. So if you're new and you're in the chat room, that's what we're talking about. That's what we're doing. And in just a minute here, I am going to ask everybody to put, just type in, I'm going to slow the chat down. I want everybody to just type in, let's see here, settings, and I'm gonna freaking just mess it up for everybody. There we go. That's gonna get it. Like now you can't spam. So, bam. Okay. So now everybody, I want you to type in pirate, and when you put pirate in there, that's the code word, and I'm gonna choose from that. And somebody stuck their address in there, their ETH address.
Oh.
He didn't say not to spam. Yeah, go ahead and try and spam this one. You guys all, there you go. Pirate, pirate, pirate. That's it. Pirate. I'm going to choose 3 names for the deal here. Oh, let me see. And check this out. This is very interesting. We have 1 European entry, and that is going to be Barely Crafty got another entry because he was the only one who put in, the only one. So,
yeah.
All right. So now I'm going to pick our 3 winners. I'm giving everybody a chance here. Boom. Oh, Hex Shark. Hex Shark gets 1. Would you write that down, bro? I don't have a pencil with me right now.
Give me 1 second. All right, got it. Hex Shark.
Okay. All right. Let me pull up another one. Oh, our boy Yoden. Yoden got 1. Yoden got 1. He is in. He is in. He is in. And one last one. Oh, damn. Things moving fast now. Try to spam. They're trying to spam. Oh, now they're spamming. Now they're spamming. Okay. Boom. SIG, SIG, EP 148. Yeah, now they're all spamming that. Now because what I did is I slowed the chat down to 1.5 minutes before they can pump anything in there.
Right.
So you got those?
I put them all in the private chat.
Okay, yes. Cool.
Yeah.
So I'll write those all down. So let me go back and make sure. So our winners, Hex Shark, got another one, I think. Yoden, I think that's Yoden's first one. Freaking cool. We were just talking about Yoden earlier. And then SIG EP 148. Congratulations, guys. You guys are on the wheel of death. I have to get that set up and we may. What's that?
Oh, I think we have one more. Into the fire. Let's write that one down, you guys.
Why? What are you writing down into the fire for?
It was just a joke.
How many entries does he have now?
All of them, sir. All of them.
He's got like 3 or 4, right? Freaking into the fire. Rigged it into the fire. Didn't get any entry. He said rigged. Into the fire. Didn't get any entry. Best of luck to y'all. Okay, let me turn this thing off now so everybody can get in there. And that's cool that you can slow this thing down. That's a good way to do it there.
Damn, Hector. You picked the worst time, bro.
So, and then of course our one entry, they didn't even get 3 entries in. So if you are outside, and I can verify that through your Twitter account, that you're from outside of the US and that you're in a different time zone. I'm picking 3 names out of my DMs list. I literally today, I don't know what happened. I usually get about 15 to 20 DMs. I got 1 DM today. 1 DM. Oh, wait. Hold on. Let me check something here. Let me see. When did he send that? Oh no. No, that was a message. That wasn't an entry. Okay. So yeah, Barely Crafty got another entry. Freaking A. So those guys are cleaning up over there. And that's that. So let me put a little something in the chest too. Thanks for all the lemons, guys. Lemon war, lemon fight. Let me put something in the chest here for you guys. You guys are freaking awesome. All right. So that's out of the way now. We got that knocked out. Can't wait to give that away.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I want to see what they're going to do with it. Thanks, Hex Shark, for the diamond, bro. But You just stick that whole 700,000 out at 555.
Whew, that'd be a good long term. Or even if they staked it out or something, that'd be nice. That's a lot of shares, man. Even if they laddered it out, that'd be at least 100 shares, 100 T shares laddered out. That's a nice little bag, man.
Let me go ahead and give away the chest here, and then we're gonna call it an evening. We'll end with something good. Let me give away the chest. Here comes the chest. I know all you YouTubers, you don't get to get that.
It's the final countdown.
Hold on. It says Joe Hexotic said, "Hey DS." Oh, by the way, the qualifier is you've got to follow us on Dlive, subscribe subscribe on YouTube, and then follow me on Twitter, which is so Discourse_Syndicate is for Dlive and YouTube, and RG3_Pirate is my Twitter handle. So follow me on Twitter, and the winners have to have all those qualifiers. If you don't have those qualifiers, please don't make the mistake of getting qualified, put on the wheel, and not subscribing, following us on Dlive. You don't have to subscribe to us on Dlive. I know somebody just made a mention that people subscribe. It costs lemons to subscribe, so I don't want anybody to have to pay anything to get into this contest. You just follow us. That's it. Doesn't cost you anything to follow us. So, okay, we got Hex Shark. Freaking, he comes out on top today, man. 198 lemons. Cookie Boy's got 114. Hector the Protector, one of our freaking regulars. Should be a damn cutthroat. Get in here, bro. Let us see your face. Come hang out with us. 82 lemons. Into the Fire, of course.
Of course.
65. And dollar cost crypto. DC got 55. What are you doing in there all hanging out in the damn chat room while you're on the show?
I'm just taking care of everybody. I like starting lemon fights.
Oh, so you got involved in that one.
Yes,
so
sir.
anyway, so Joe Heck, we got a new guy in here, Joe Hexotic.
Joe Exotic
says it won't let me comment without a subscription. It says no, you don't have to subscribe. I think
you have to follow.
You just have to follow. You don't have to subscribe. You just have to follow.
Damn, we're up to 705 followers now.
Nice. We're getting there, guys. We're getting really, really close. We got to get to that 1,000 mark in order to crack it. So thank you, Dlivers, all you guys for following us. We appreciate it. What I'm gonna do tonight is we're gonna end the show, but we're going to transfer over to somebody. And hey, we call this a raid. This is a pirate raid. Hexo does it all the time. We're going to go raid somebody's channel tonight. So go in there, show them some love, and maybe even they can talk about Hex, and we can spread the community, spread our Dlive community, talk about Discourse Syndicate or whatever over there. But let me find a one that looks worthy, and then we'll end the stream for the evening. Hold on here a second.
What about
just go in there and show some Hexican love and. Let's see, who's this? FBI drops investigate. I have some news to tell you. Fallen. Let me see something that doesn't have a whole bunch of followers in there so you guys can just go like blast them. Let's see here. You know what? This Chaos and Mayhem Monday edition. Who are these guys? Okay. Let's find these guys here. Let's see what they're all about.
They don't look terrible.
No, they don't. They look like Duck Dynasty.
Yeah. The frog there. So, I mean, they can't be all bad.
Okay.
Pirate raid.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw us all over there. So hold on, guys. Let's see. Thanks for hanging with us. Appreciate you. Go show these guys some freaking Hexican love and blast their channel real quick. Let's see. Hosting. Shit. What did I just say that they were named?
Their name was Chaos and Mayhem Monday edition.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. I'm sorry. Okay, yeah. Chaos and Mayhem.
I'll put it in the private chat.
Let me see. Chaos and Mayhem. Chaos. Oh, wait.
I can't wait till my fucking new chair gets here. Man, I want to throw this chair away so bad. I'm gonna make some video of me destroying it. I'm probably gonna burn it. I'm probably gonna burn it live on stream.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm gonna light it on fire. I'm gonna light it on fire with like, it's gonna be marvelous, man. Stay tuned, you guys.
Hold on. Why is this not showing up? Let me see. It's probably because that's not their real name here. Hold on a second. Oh, One Quick Dub is what they're called. One Quick Dub. So let's there we go. One. There it is. And boom. Have a good one, guys. See you on the next one.